Everyone, and welcome to Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium, where tonight the West Texas A&M Buffaloes and the Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds will meet for the 36th time in the annual battle for the Wagon Wheel. I'm Lucas Kinsey. Joining me, my broadcast partner, Bryce Sheets. Happy birthday, partner. We'll maybe reveal as the broadcast goes on the age of Bryce, but happy birthday. We got some cupcakes up here. Kent Johnson will be joining us down on the sidelines this evening, and our Thunder Vision production director tonight is Jacob Griffin. We're glad to have you with us here on the broadcast. This intense rivalry is one of the most competitive in all of Division II. Buffalo Stadium, and talking about this big game tonight between Eastern New Mexico and West Texas A&M, and how even that the series has been, Bryce. And so West Texas A&M has had the wheel for the last 3 years, but Eastern New Mexico fans will be quick to remind Buff Nation that they owned that thing for 4 years in a row.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, they played extremely well, especially when they opened their new stadium.
Yeah.
So that's where all that momentum was.
So we've seen these two programs go at each other year after year, and in a sports world that some might say has gone a little soft, that's not the case in this rivalry. I mean, it doesn't matter what the records are. It's going to be intense here in, about 30 minutes.
You know, I think that's a very clear and true statement from the standpoint it does not matter what the records are, because both these teams come in with such urgency. Regardless of what their record is overall, they want to come in, and the goal is to grab the wagon wheel.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter who's up, who's down, whatever the case may be. It's a rivalry game in the true sense of the word, and both teams go after the wheel when the game's over.
Now, West Texas A&M is coming into this game a 5-4 overall record, following last week's 4-point loss on the road at Western New Mexico. The Buffs are tied for 6th right now in the Lone Star Conference. Eastern New Mexico, they're struggling this season, just a 2-7 record, 1-6 in conference play. The Greyhounds, they fought tough last week, lost just by a field goal, 24-21 against UT Permian Basin. I think, Bryce, both head coaches would say that the season has not gone according to the preseason plans.
No, I don't think so. I mean, if you look at West Texas A&M, they kind of expected to get a couple of wins out of those 4 losses that they've had this year, especially going over to Western Oregon. And really, you take a look at last week against Western New Mexico, that's a team they've controlled a lot in the years past, and so to kind of stumble over there in Silver City, that was a tough one to take. And then as Eastern's the same way, they're under a second-year head coach. He's trying to implement a new offense, which is totally different than what they've done in years past. And so it takes time to get the personnel to match up with what you're trying to do.
But again, as we mentioned earlier, you throw out the records, throw out what place you're in the conference, because when the Greyhounds and the Buffaloes get together, you're usually going to have a really intense matchup. So we're looking forward to this one tonight. When we come back here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network, the seniors for West Texas A&M are going to be honored in front of the home crowd. The Buffs and the Greyhounds getting ready to square off as the Wagon Wheel awaits the victor.
We know that egg producers don't quit at 5 p.m. We don't quit until the job's done either. Bankers' hours don't apply at First United Bank because we believe egg lending isn't a 9-to-5 job. While you're out working the fields or managing the herd, we're making sure your money is working too. Whether it's for livestock, land, or equipment, we're one of the most dominant egg lenders in the state and have been burning the midnight oil since 1907. First United Bank. We know egg lending. We know ag.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium as West Texas A&M getting set to take on Eastern New Mexico in a battle for the Wagon Wheel. The Buffaloes honoring 17 seniors down on the field, and there's some really talented players, some great young men, as we'll turn it over to public address Corbin Richardson as they announce, starting with Jared Compton.
Jared graduated with a bachelor's in sports and exercise science in December of 2021, and he will complete a second degree in general studies this spring. He is joined today by his parents, JR and Bobby Joe. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Jared Compton.
There's a look at Jared down there and what a career he's had for the Buffaloes, a senior from Lubbock.
The Detroit, Michigan native has seen time in 22 games for the Buffs over the last 3 seasons. He will graduate with a bachelor's in accounting this upcoming May. He is joined today by his mother, Charmaine, and his sister, Kiera. Ladies and gentlemen, number 2, Kenneth Ray.
Kenneth Red Jr., transfer a couple of seasons ago, and talented wide receiver for the Buffaloes.
Our next senior is Michael Smith III. The Kansas City product has seen time in 15 games for the Buffaloes over the last 2 seasons. Michael will graduate with his bachelor's in sports and exercise science next spring. He is joined today by his parents, Michael and Vivian. Ladies and gentlemen, number 4, Michael Smith III.
One of the defensive linemen, Michael Smith. In his second season with West Texas A&M, again, one of 17 seniors being honored. Bigger senior class this season than what we've had, Bryce.
Absolutely, yeah. They played so many different pivotal roles for the Buffaloes this year.
There's one of my favorites, Shaq Brown.
Native has seen time in 14 games for the Buffaloes during the last 2 seasons. Shaquille received his bachelor's in general studies last May, and he is currently pursuing a second degree in social work. He is joined today by his parents, Anthony and Shalonda. Ladies and gentlemen, number 6, Shaquille Brown.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things, too, of these players. You hear several going for 2 different degrees.
Yep.
And this shows you their excellence in the classroom as well.
There's Jeremy Carnbay, another tight end.
He's joined today by his parents, Joyce Carnbay and Mark and Jolie Foster. Ladies and gentlemen, number 7.
And, of course, Jeremy Bryce, a little extra to play for in this rivalry. He's from Portales, New Mexico.
Right, yeah. And so, again, he's very familiar with Eastern New Mexico.
The Eastvale, California native has seen times in 20 games for the Buffs over the transferring.
There's Noah Bogardus, leading receiver, actually yardage-wise in the Lone Star Conference this year.
Had a great year this season, and again, he's kind of that go-to guy. He can make things happen in the short field, and again, you can send him up and really try to get ahead of the secondary and kind of break things up for the Buffaloes.
He transferred in a couple of seasons ago from Azusa Pacific.
Our next senior is Tyler Sweet. The Rialto, California native has seen time in all 9 games this season after transferring.
And that's pretty cool, with a bunch of players walking out with him.
And Tyler was a transfer from Middle Tennessee State, and he's come on late here in the season as a receiver. He's been a great return specialist for the Buffaloes, and making a name for himself just in 1 year.
Our next senior is Dylan Mata.
That's a player that's been around for several seasons.
Right.
A fan favorite.
With his bachelor's in general business last December, and he's joined today by his mother, Shahela, and stepfather Rocky. Ladies and gentlemen, number 10, Dylan Mata.
And Dylan from the Austin area. Great personality, good kid, has a bright future
an undersized defensive lineman, but man, he really knows how to read angles and really gets in there and disrupts offenses.
There's Hunter Kaufman, wide receiver from Pratt, Kansas.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 11, Hunter Kaufman.
And I believe Hunter is also on the receiving end the interview that Kari Belmars had that we'll get to check out here in the pregame. It's Caleb Areola, the backup quarterback for the Buffaloes from Chino, California.
Hard to break in when you have a Nick Gerber in front of you, but when he's come into play, he's just done an outstanding job. A lot of confidence from the players that come in with him, and just how he moves the offense.
Yeah, the Buffaloes honoring the 17 seniors here before the Wagon Wheel game. Next one, the Max truck, Maxwell Perez.
Max, of course, came here as a quarterback.
Yeah.
And then transitioned to a tight end.
Still go back to one of my favorite Max Perez stories is in the spring when he was young, maybe freshman year. He was on offense running that quarterback package that they had with him, the Max truck, and flat ran over Hayden Dennis. And it got everybody fired up. And special players. Speaking of special players, there's Nick Gerber. Going to be hard to replace the quarterback from Level End.
Been here 16 years, and that's kidding. Obviously, he's been here, done a phenomenal job since day one. And again, working on that master's degree, and just does a great job running the offense.
Yeah, for Nick, he's in the top 10 in program history in passing yards and also in total offense. 8,280 yards of offense. That's a lot of offense.
It is.
Well, Gage Urias, he has been a special player for the Buffaloes, especially this season, Bryce. He's been counted on a lot to kick field goals, and in fact, go back to the homecoming game against UT Permian Basin, kicked the biggest one probably of his career, game winner.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's the fact that coaches have so much confidence in him. Years past, and not last year, but before that, you're just concerned about sending somebody out there to kick, field goals, and that's not the case with Gage.
Our next senior is Christopher Thomas.
Wow, Chris Thomas.
The humble product ranks 4th on WT's all-time tackle.
He passed Eric Collins. He got it past his buddy on the all-time tackles chart. And he's just got a great personality. Again, a quiet leader, but one that players have followed for several seasons with good reason, Bryce.
And again, it's just the way he plays. He's got that additional motor that just kind of makes the defense go, and he really rallies to the ball.
The Aurora, Colorado product has seen times in 17 games.
There's Samote Samate.
Mo, as he's known.
That's right.
Especially out on the flag football fields. One of the good referees that's out there for the young kids. So.
Well, that's another thing that cannot be said enough is the character of these seniors that are being honored. A lot of really good young men, a lot of role models out there on the field.
And when you say that, and that's what I'm talking about, they're in the community doing things. I mean, they are involved in what's going on around in the area.
Well, the mullet is moving on. There's Zane Madison, who has been a staple of this offensive line.
He is joined today by his mother, Gretchen, and his grandfather, John. Ladies and gentlemen, number 52, Zane Madison.
And again, a steadying force on the offensive line. He's adjusted. He didn't start out at center. He moved to that position and has just done a phenomenal job wherever he's been positioned on the offensive line.
Back-to-back players here with beautiful beards, by the way, right? The X-Man Xavier Rivera.
When he first exploded on the scene, I mean, he was more than what we expected, I think. He just really came out and did a nice job on that defensive line, and then has carried that over the course of his career.
Local product out of Abernathy. And so there are your 17 seniors. And as you look across there, Bryce, not only great young men and a lot of great character, but this is a lot of production that the Buffaloes are going to be missing next season, and some guys that have had some really stellar careers.
Yeah, real key roles and making both the offense and the defense, play to their exceptional ability they can. And so this is going to be a class that'll be hard to replace.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, Kari Belmars has an interview with Hunter Kaufman, and then we'll get down to Kent Johnson on the sidelines with an interview. It's the Buffaloes and the Greyhounds here from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. Back after these messages.
Hey, I'm Kari Belmars, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Athlete. Today we're sitting down with Hunter Kaufman, who plays football for West Texas A&M University. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So, big game coming up on Saturday. It's the Wagon Wheel game. Tell me, is there like a different feeling in preparing for this game throughout the week?
Oh, absolutely. It's a rivalry game, like you said, and a trophy's on the line. So emotions are high. Everyone have the intent to win the game, and it can be a little bit stressful.
Yeah, I imagine. So something people probably don't know about you is that you played football for Kansas University for 4 years. I'm correct. Tell me a little bit about your time there.
All right, so I went to KU right out of high school. I redshirted my freshman year there. At the time, David Beatty was the head coach. So I ended up playing a little bit of special teams my redshirt freshman year. Then Beatty got fired, and Coach Miles was hired. And so I had 2 years with Coach Miles. Played a lot of special teams those 2 years. Played a little bit of offense, not much. Coach Miles last year was the COVID year, and it was crazy. Everything was just kind of hectic, and everything was shut down, or we were playing this week, or we weren't playing this week, and it was just crazy. And it just felt like it was time for me to move on, to try and play somewhere else and see my other options. And so I ended up entering the portal, and I loved Coach Miles. He's a great coach. He's hilarious. He's a really people person, and he really connected with the team well. But I entered the portal, and either way I was going to play for 3 head coaches because he got fired a couple months later.
Yeah. So tell me, how did you end up at WT?
So I entered the portal, and WT hit me up. One of the coaches did, and was asking why I was in a new portal. I just told him I was just continuing trying to play and be a significant part of a program. And I said that, and I didn't get a reply for a week. It was an intense time. It was scary, and I didn't know what was going on. I did some research on WT during that time and saw that they had the #1 stadium in Division II. And I was like, I'm interested in this place. And then a week goes by. Finally, I get contact from them. My OC, Coach Martin, and the receiver coach, Coach LeMay. They both hit me up and were talking to me and got me on a visit here. And it turned out that Coach Martin coached my high school coach, so that was the connection there.
Wow, wow. Okay, so I'm assuming football has always been like a huge part of your life, but at what age were you like, yeah, I want to go play college football? Yeah,
football's been a huge part of my life and my family ever since I was real little. So I started playing tackle football in 2nd grade, and I think at that time I had a desire to play college football and even try and play in the NFL.
Okay, so I heard that you're going to pro days. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yep. With my college career, I've had a lot of coaches and have some connections, so I'm able to attend some pro days, and just to kind of show the scouts my talents, what I have to offer, and just hopefully one of them takes a chance on me.
That's an exciting time. So you graduate in May. You play your last home game on Saturday. Tell me, what has football taught you throughout the years?
Football's taught me a lot. In life, you're going to have your ups and downs. It's going to be hard. Same with football. You're going to go through hard times. It's going to be tough, grueling, but it's not going to last forever. And if you just keep working hard through it. Eventually, things are going to turn around for you, and football's taught me that. And also just the leadership aspect, how you can take 11 guys and have them all achieve one main goal, like to win, and just to be vocal and to experience all those opportunities that football has been a huge impact on my life.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. Really appreciate it.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And stay tuned for the next episode of Beyond the Athlete.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has
I got a mic check right here.
What began in 1831 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states.
Check
and
one,
while
two.
membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
You know, this is normally the segment of the pregame show where I talk about the visiting team, and I'm going to do that a little bit. But the reality is tonight, it doesn't matter because we're playing for this puppy, the Wagon Wheel. This is the 34th time the two teams have played for the Wagon Wheel. WT holds a slim advantage, 17-16. There's lots of E&MUs on here. Not necessarily the best team has won each year. This year's opponent, always, Eastern New Mexico University. They're in their second season under head coach Ty Hyatt. He comes in tonight with a record of 6 wins and 14 seasons through a season and a half. The Greyhounds as a team are just 2-7. They're 1-6 in conference play. They sit 9th in the conference. They've lost 2 straight. They've lost 7 of their last 8, and only 1 game, last week's 21-24 loss to UT Permian Basin, has been by fewer than 10 points. But again, that doesn't matter because of this thing right here. Adrenaline's going to be flowing, emotions are going to be high. The Greyhounds are a very balanced offense. 336 rushing attempts, 241 passing. Kaysen Martins, the quarterback, the junior from Vacaville, California, has completed 52% of his throws, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. Also one day is by far the Greyhounds' most prolific receiver. The Vacaville, California native has caught 32 passes for 651 yards and 5 touchdowns. On the ground, it's the Isaiah Tate show. Tate is the only Greyhound with more than 60 carries. He has 171. He's averaging 66 yards a game. Where Eastern is really struggling, though, is on the defensive side. They're allowing over 400 yards a game offensively, and it's most apparent by the tackling. The Greyhounds' 2 leading tacklers are both in the secondary. Defensive back Carmen Santa Cruz has 68 total tackles. Fellow defensive back Zarian Meander is second with 52. Hamilton Cooper handles the place kicking. He's 7 of 10 this year with a long of 50. Cage Jones is the punter. He averages 34 yards a kick. It's a beautiful November evening, 65 degrees at kick time. The wind, kind of brisk out of the southwest, might affect punts and long passes. But other than that, it's all about this, the Wagon Wheel. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, Lucas and the birthday guy, Bryce Sheets, will tell you more about tonight's game between the Buffaloes and the Greyhounds. You're watching West Texas A&M football on the LSC Digital Network.
Welcome to MetaDrive Pharmacy, Canyon's hometown pharmacy for over 32 years. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to counsel you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly, professional service and the highest quality medicines and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your healthcare needs.
Suddenlink is now Optimum, with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
We live where wide open roads lead to wide open spaces, where life is lived a different kind of way. We believe that generosity should always be given, but loyalty can only be earned. Community is sacred. Integrity is learned. We believe in going the extra mile, whether it's time to work or it's time to play. But most important, we believe in doing the right thing, always.
A great job by the West Texas A&M band there, and we're getting ready for another Wagon Wheel rivalry matchup between West Texas A&M and Eastern New Mexico. Bryce, let's look at our keys to the game here for West Texas A&M. And the first one we've got is really all about turnovers, forcing Eastern New Mexico into some mistakes. Now, on the flip side of that, we can talk about Eastern probably wanting to do the same things to the Buffaloes.
No, absolutely. And again, that's what kind of did WTN last week against Western New Mexico, was fumbles. And so can you hold on to the ball? Can you keep control of the rock? I mean, that's the big thing. And Eastern has not, they've had some issues with it this year, both interceptions and fumbles. So again, your defense wants to rally to the ball. You want to try to punch it out, try to do something to cause the ball to come free. Yet if you're WT, you got to make sure you got stick 'em on the hands and make sure you hold on.
For the Buffaloes, last time we saw the defense here, they did a really good job putting pressure on Central Washington's quarterback. That's what the Buffs want to do against Kaysen Martin, just a 52% passer. And so if you can maybe rattle him early, that'll help the Buffs out.
And that's a key right there. Can you rattle him early to get that confidence level down? And so that means he's throwing the passes quicker because, again, he's got pressure coming toward him.
Well, it's the last time that we're going to see Nick Gerber here at home at Buffalo Stadium. He's got to be in your keys to the game, the elite competitor that he is. And you just have the feeling that in front of the home fans, he's going to have a special game tonight.
You know, one of the things, too, is not only how many yards he's passed for, not just this year, but in his career overall. But again, this year, second leading rusher on the team. And the thing about that is that we talk about a couple of games that if he would take off and run with the football, because he hasn't done it in every game, but when he does, then that throws the defense off balance.
Yeah, Nick, also, you look at this stat, 2-0 against Eastern New Mexico. And Bryce, he's really good. I mean, he's rushed for 3 total touchdowns in those wins over the Greyhounds.
And I think that's the big thing. Again, he keeps defenses off balance because most teams don't account for the quarterback. And so, again, if you can take off when you have those opportunities, make the most of what you can.
Last key for the Buffaloes is they see them getting ready to come out on the field with the flags as there's Jared Compton, one of the seniors being that was honored earlier. But our last key, Bryce, you know I love to throw some music in, and so tonight it is Elvis Presley who sang "Home is Where the Heart Is," right?
Yeah.
So with the exception of the Kingsville game, WT has been outstanding here at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium.
Well, not this year since it's opened, really. I mean,
yeah.
They have played extremely well. And, you know, Coach Hughes talks about that. The team doesn't necessarily have to get up to play here. That's the struggle is when they go on the road. How do you bring that same energy that you have here at Bain Schaefer on the road? And so, again, tonight, this battle for the Wagon Wheel, you expect the players to be amped up and ready to go.
Well, and, you know, the other thing, too, in this rivalry is it's both ways. First, Eastern New Mexico, Bryce, they're 2-7, but you know it would make their season if they could come in and win here in Canyon, their first trip to Buffalo Stadium, by the way.
Yeah, it is. And again, yeah, absolutely. They would love to play the spoiler tonight for a lot of reasons. One, it's the Wagon Wheel game. It's always great to upset WT, but especially to kind of turn their season around and end on a positive note as they get ready to wrap things up too. And so the Buffs really want to come out, set the tone in this one tonight, and get ready. And of course, you see them carrying out all the American flags. We've got Veterans Weekend coming up next weekend, and so again, just in honor of the veterans.
A lot of appreciation for all of our military servicemen and women. Let's talk about our X-Bar Steakhouse X Factor of the game. And you knew it was going to be a senior, and we've highlighted different players throughout the season, but Jeremy Carnbay mentioned that he's from Portales.
Right.
And Bryce wanted to give him some love because he is a guy that has been so unselfish over the last several seasons, a big key for the Buffs' success on the running game, at that tight end spot, one of the best blockers in all of Division II.
Well, you know, and that's what Hunter Hughes talked about coming into this season. Not only did he have one of the best tight ends, he has three of the best tight ends in the conference. And the Buffaloes have not utilized the tight ends that much in years past. This year, it's a different story with Shaq Brown and obviously Jeremy Cornbay. They have been able to utilize those guys not just for blocking, but also in the run game and in the passing game. And so, again, he's got three of the best, and he wants to capitalize with all three.
Jeremy, this season, a career high for him in terms of catches, 14 catches this year, 153 yards, and hopefully he's going to have a great game here in his last one in front of Buff Nation. So the Buffaloes, again, a 5-4 overall record, 3-4 in Lone Star Conference. But as we talked about their success here at home, 3 of the 4 losses have been away from Bain Schaefer Stadium, with Angelo State, Western Oregon, and Western New Mexico all coming on the road. On the other side for Eastern New Mexico, again, a 2-7 record, 1-6 in LSC play. They do feel like they kind of got something going last week. You know, they lose just by 3 to UT Permian Basin.
Right.
Here's a couple of areas that really hurt them. They were 2 for 13 on third downs. And, Bryce, they missed 2 field goals. They missed a 38-yarder and a 51-yarder and lost by 3.
Yeah, the 38-yarder probably is the one that hurt the most, because the 51-yarder, no matter who's kicking, and, you know, the percentages aren't very good. But the closer you get, the better the percentages. And so when you miss one that you feel like is normally within your place kicker's range, then that's what really hurts. And I don't know what the weather conditions were like or anything along that line. But nevertheless, that's the thing that really sticks out. And that's what, if you're a Buffalo, that's what you don't want. You don't want them to start getting a lot of confidence in what they're doing as far as, you know, their team is concerned. You want them to come in here tonight. And that's why you want the Buffaloes to dominate from the beginning.
Captains making their way on the field: Jared Compton, Xavier Rivera, and Christopher Thomas. On the other side, Eastern New Mexico with their captains as well. Cameron Santa Cruz, one of those. Aseli Finau, also number 91, Kevin McCracken, and number 52, and that is Hunter St. John. Here's the coin toss.
It looks like Eastern won the coin toss.
Eastern won the toss. They're going to defer.
So they'll defer to the second half. That means the Buffaloes will get it to start things off in this one today. The Buffs will have the wind at their back. Wind coming in from
West Texas will receive. All right, guys, good luck. Shake hands again.
As this one we get ready for game time temperature for this early evening contest here at Buffalo Stadium is it's about 70 degrees.
It's definitely warmer than last night here in the Texas Panhandle. Bryce, you were in Pampa covering a high school game, and
we had over at least an inch, if not 2 inches of snow on the ground. It was 33 degrees at game time, and so, yes, this is much warmer today, much better conditions. The wind, though, that's the one thing. It's coming in out of the southeast, and so that's the thing that you have to watch. 17 gusting to 27, and so that's one of the things. It's 66 degrees, by the way. That's what our game time temperature is.
We appreciate everyone tuning in tonight here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network, the Thunder Vision production team bringing you this broadcast tonight. Your director, Jacob Griffin. On the replay tonight, Peyton Stokes, graphics, Gavin Rutherford-Baca, the camera operators, Alan Rogers, Dylan McMullen, Javier Rivera-Cordero, Stetson Rothwell, and Tyrone Leggett. I am Lucas Kinsey, my broadcast partner tonight, Bryce Sheets. Happy birthday, partner. Hopefully it's a happy night for West Texas A&M.
And one of the cool things tonight, too, that I can brag on a little bit, not only my broadcast partner, but the broadcaster from Eastern New Mexico. Both of you tied for Lone Star Conference Broadcasters of the Year.
Doc Elder is one of the best. We talked to him before the game and enjoyed visiting with him. He was telling us about the Greyhounds and kind of how the season had gone. And we both agreed that nobody knows what's going to happen whenever these two teams tangle. And that's what's happening here tonight as Eastern kicks off. And the Buffaloes, Hunter Kaufman to bring it out from the goal line. And just tripped up short of the 20-yard line. And on the special teams tackle for the Greyhounds, number 54, and that is Yvonne Andrew. Let's look at the offensive starting lineups for the Buffaloes of West Texas A&M tonight. And, of course, Nick Gerber leading the troops on the field tonight. The offensive line, Zane Madison, the starting center, big factor there. And then in the backfield, Jared Compton, and still, this season he's had a good season, not as good as what last year was. Look for him to get involved. They fake it to Compton on first down. The throw sails over the head of the intended receiver, Tyler Sweet.
Tyler Sweet was going kind of back toward the quarterback. He went up the field and turned back. They tried to hit him on the sideline, and that was just over his head. No way for anybody to catch that.
The Greyhounds defensively, their defensive coordinator, Jamison Bish, coming over from Bemidji State. Gerber fakes the option, keeps it, cuts up the field, and he has a first down across the 30 to about the 32-yard line, a gain of 12 yards there for Nick Gerber. And we've seen a lot of that this season.
Beautiful option pitch that time. He faked the option, and then the defender bit on it, so that means he turns it upfield, picks up 12 on the scamper.
Again, Gerber, second leading rusher, and actually on the season with 6 rushing touchdowns, leads the team. 3 receivers out to the far side, and they blocked that one pretty well. Complete to Sweet for a short gain.
And our X-Bar player of the game, Jeremy Cornbay, out there with a nice block, turns the defender away from the passing lane, and that allowed for that catch and a pickup of about 3.
Eastern New Mexico 4-man defensive front with the sometimes 2 linebackers. They walk the other linebacker up a lot. That's Caden Ochoa, kind of a linebacker/safety hybrid. They blitz him on this play, and Gerber keeps it, runs over the right side, and a big hole opens up. As you can see, the Buffaloes early on kind of relying on Nick Gerber as the shoe came off at the end of that one.
Well, Lino Odin comes up and makes the tackle. He's not even listed on the 2 deep. He's in there already.
Compton takes the carry on first down. A short one there as the Greyhounds bottle him up. Give the tackle to Bo Burns, a 6'2", 220-pound sophomore linebacker from Houston.
So one of the big things we know that both of their safeties are their leading tacklers this year. So if you can get the run game going, it kind of sucks them up toward the middle. That opens up the secondary, especially if you want to go up over the middle.
Yeah, the Greyhounds defense, they allow 32 points a game. They give up 164 on the ground, 245 through the air. Here's the second down play. Gerber looking, throwing over to Carnbay, and just hanging on to the leg of Jeremy. Good play by the defensive back, number 13, Ochoa. And that's a big loss. It's going to be 3rd and long for the Buffs.
Well, that was his second option on that. He sent somebody up quickly up the field, trying to get over. That was Kenneth Red Jr. as he was trying to get up over the middle that time. And so that was his second option, was Cornbay. And when he got it out to him, he was 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
So it is 3rd down and 14 here for West Texas A&M on the season. The Buffs pretty good on 3rd downs, 44%. Gerber in trouble, going to run for it. And Gerber hit as he crosses midfield. He's going to be short of the 1st down by about 6 yards.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that he went to the sideline that time. And again, we talk about that, don't give yourself up, go. But he had an open lane back to the inside, and he might have been able to get close. I don't know that he would have picked up the 1st down, but he would have been close. But he does give the Buffs better field position to punt this away.
That's a really good start defensively if you're Eastern New Mexico to force the Buffs into a punt situation. Ollie Yart back to punt for WT. Good protection, and this punt angled away from the return man. A good one from Yart. Did that go inside the pylon?
I think they're going to mark it at the 1 yard line.
Wow.
Nicely done.
What a punt.
Yart angling it toward the corner. I got exactly what he needed right there. And Hunter Kaufman was one of those running down there, too, to kind of knock it out of bounds there at the 1 and 1.5 is what they'll give him. So deep field position for Eastern New Mexico as they bring their offense out.
And you're seeing the Greyhounds, one of the Greyhounds coaches down there talking to number 34, the return man for Eastern, saying, hey, you got to get over there and maybe try to make a play on that ball. But at the same time, you kind of talk, if it's inside the 10.
It is, yeah, you're expecting it. It probably looked like it was going to go back into the end zone.
Take your chances there. So the Eastern New Mexico offense on the field from its own 1 yard line. Play action pass complete on the outside. That was a good pitch and catch for a 1st down. They went on the outside to talented receiver Asa One-Day.
Well, One-Day, too, he had a lot of cushion. And so, again, a nice pass from Martin out to him out in the flat, and that got them out of the shadow of the goalpost, and they pick up a quick 1st down on a nice pass completion.
Wande, to start the season, his 1st game as a Greyhound, he had a great performance, 7 catches, 189 yards. He was the Lone Star Conference Offensive Player of the Week. And he's going to catch it again on the next play as he's taken down by Gage Smith after a big pickup. And, you notice this Eastern offense, and one of the things, Bryce, we looked at this, the receivers in the past, they've had some big, tall receivers.
Absolutely.
Not as big, but some fast guys out there.
Yeah, and that time Greg Thomas did that. He just ran up the field, took his defender with him. And that left an open spot to get that to one day. Yeah, absolutely.
Thomas goes in motion behind the quarterback here. They fake it to the running back, throw it to him, blocking up in front, and it was excellent blocking. Give some credit out there to Bryce White, the tight end, number 89, completely turned his man around, and that opened up a lane there for the Greyhounds, another 1st down.
And he did the right thing. He goes up like he's in the pattern, and then once he sees the pass release, he finds somebody to block, does that. That opens up the running lane. And Thomas had a nice reception.
This Buffalo defense, again, has just been blistered with injuries this year, really since about game 4. It's a handoff on 1st down, a tough run over the left side, a big hole. That's about 7 yards on 1st down to Isaiah Tate, leading rusher for the Greyhounds this year. That with that carry, he's over 600 yards on the ground. Last week had 26 carries, 93 yards in the loss to UT Permian Basin. Sets up a 2nd down and 4. First quarter action, 10 minutes to play. Quarterback fakes it, slings it out to his tight end. Complete. That is a big target right there. Bryce White, 6'3", 240-pound sophomore. And right now, Bryce, impressed with Kason Martin in this rhythm.
Yes, and he is in rhythm, and that's the thing. He had blitz on him that time, so from one of the linebackers. And so he just waited till he got there, threw the pass to his tight end, in motion, in rhythm. And again, it was, designed. They've seen something on tape. You can tell early here that they feel like they can exploit with the WT defense.
So Eastern getting closer to Buffalo territory. Ball just on the other side on their own 47-yard line. We'd like to thank Amarillo National Bank for their support of WT Athletics. Amarillo National Bank, locally owned, family strong, and here to stay.
Well, Eastern needs to take a timeout. They saw something that they didn't like, so they're going to take a timeout.
All right, we'll be back right after these messages here on the Lone Star Conference
and it'll be
Digital
a media
Network.
Timeout as well.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. No score here as the Buffaloes had the ball first and had a couple of nice drives before they had to punt it away. Eastern took it over at the 1.5, and they have gone on a nice little blitzkrieg as they've been able to get it up close to midfield. They saw something that the Buffs defense was doing, and so they called a timeout. Want to talk things over, so again, they take a timeout with 9:21 left to play here in the first quarter. No score between either team.
That was a great catch by one of our camera operators down there, Bryce. They found Cammie Jones in the crowd, one of the volleyball players for WT, because they were just announcing that West Texas A&M this weekend won the Lone Star Conference regular season championship. They actually wrapped that up last night in a win over Kingsville. And then today, a sweep over Texas A&M International. So what they did, they went 16-0 in LSC play. That is not easy to do.
No, not by any stretch. Congratulations, Coach Potts and the team, and they've done a nice job. By the way, women's soccer lost to Midwestern 2-1 today in the Lone Star Conference tournament.
All right, 1st and 10, Eastern New Mexico from its own 47. Running back goes in motion out of the backfield. Quarterback throws on the outside, incomplete, one that could have been caught maybe a little off target, but nonetheless it's incomplete, intended for Brendan Strickland.
Yeah, Strickland was there. He had to kind of adjust back to the ball, but nevertheless he wasn't able to pull that in. And you're right, that's one of those that you really feel like the receiver, even though he has to make an adjustment, should be able to pull that one in for a completion.
Kason Martin, the quarterback, new to Eastern New Mexico this season, a transfer from North Texas out of Manville High School. Big arm, but that one drifts outside, intended on the outside.
It's a break for the Buffs too, because Ty Dillon got a late break on that ball, and so had the ball got there, then he would have been not a really good defensive posture. And so good thing was it was to the outside and the receiver couldn't pull it in.
That receiver number 20, Tyree Cherry. So 2 incomplete passes, and it's 3rd and 10 here for Eastern New Mexico. Buffs bring one of the linebackers up on the line of scrimmage, Cole Oster. Good protection. Quarterback slings it over the middle. A great play at the last second. Ty Dillon comes up, knocks the ball loose.
Well, when you're playing the secondary, sometimes it's feast or famine. Again, we just talked about tying that there last time. This time, perfect timing as he got there. You see on the replay as he comes in right at the last second, reaches in with that right hand, knocks the football away, and forces a punting situation.
All right, Tyler Sweet back to return. Punter, David Sweet. And
David's a big boy.
He is one of the bigger punters that you'll see in the conference. 6'4", 265-pound senior from Roswell. And it's a nice high kick. Tyler Sweet is going to take it on the run just inside the 20-yard line, trying to bounce it outside, and he doesn't go anywhere. Great coverage by the Greyhounds with the special teams unit.
He had the right idea. He wanted to get to the outside. He just couldn't get past one defender, so he had to go back toward the middle. And did the smart thing there. Protect the football, go down to the turf, and then let the offense come out and get going.
2 players down there, Colton Madison, number 36, and also Michael Moli-o'o, number 38. So the Buffs offense back on the field. 8:56 to play here in the opening quarter. No score between the Greyhounds and the Buffs. And WT works from its own 17-yard line. Stats show 30 total yards of offense for West Texas A&M, 45 for Eastern New Mexico. Throw over the middle, intercepted, went through the hands of the receiver Bogardus. It was too high, hit the hands, and went right into the hands of Eastern New Mexico's number 0, Cameron Santa Cruz. And that's his 3rd interception this season.
Well, Santa Cruz was back so deep that time. Anything that was tipped in the air, he had a good chance to run underneath. That's exactly what happened. You watched it on the replay right here. Tipped up in the air. He was back 10 yards behind the intended target, and so it just flipped to him. And so that's an easy reception for the Greyhounds to come away with great field position.
And Santa Cruz from Eunice, New Mexico, local product. Last year was honorable mention to LSC in his sophomore season, picking up and getting even better. So the Greyhounds forced the first turnover of this game. Both teams have struggled with turnovers. We talked about that in the pregame. Handoff over the left side. Good job by the Buffs. It's going nowhere because linebacker Kobe King comes up and disrupts the play just for maybe a half yard to Howard Russell, the running back for Eastern New Mexico.
And Kobe did a nice job because he was out there on an island that time. Got the running back, wrapped him up, didn't take him down, but he slowed him up enough to get help.
This linebacking core for the Buffaloes looks a lot different than the season starting. Bryce, redshirt freshman Kobe King, sophomore Sam Hampton. On the other side, sophomore Cole Oster. Chris Thomas still there in the middle, but a lot of guys, they've had injuries, and the lineup has changed a lot this year. On 2nd down and long, Martin throws to the end zone receiver, could not get to it. He was looking for his big tight end right down the middle. And look who's in coverage there, Chris Thomas.
And Chris was with him step for step. And so Chris did a nice job. He read where the tight end was going, stayed with him, and had the pass been close enough, he would have been able to at least try to tip it away. You talk about, and by the way, just real quick back to your comment about the linebackers too. And when you think about it, J.T. Cavender was preseason defensive player of the year, and he has been able to play the last several weeks.
Crowd making some noise here on another 3rd and long. Eastern has struggled this year on 3rd downs heavily. 3rd and 10. Martin throws across the middle, had a man open. That should have been a touchdown. Tyree Cherry, nobody within a yard or two from him, and that ball sails behind and incomplete.
Just not a good throw from the quarterback that time. Martin did have him, tried to lead him, but not only did he try to lead him, he threw it too high for him to pull that in. And again, when you have a receiver that's that wide open, you just got to hit him in stride.
So it sends Cooper Hamilton, the sophomore kicker from Lubbock, on for the field goal try. This will be a 39-yard field goal attempt. It hits the right post and is no good. So a little windy tonight. You see the flags blowing, and as a result, in the last 2 games, it's now 3 field goals missed here for Cooper Hamilton. On the season, he's 7 for 10, Bryce, but that's one that you need to make.
Yeah, it really is, because it was well within his distance as we watched the kick. Again, he had plenty of leg on it. It just sails to the right and hits that crossbar on the left side and bounces back, and so a big break for the Buffaloes.
So still no score with 7:52 left here in the first quarter. Buffs offense. Hand off to Brian Okoye, trying the right side, and the Greyhounds defensive line played that beautifully. Give credit to number 91, Kevin McCracken, the 265-pound defensive tackle. Just goes right down the line, takes on the block, and makes the tackle.
You know, the one thing you want to see maybe a little more here early going is the Buffs to attack the middle. They've been running to the outside. But they've had success when they run kind of right up the middle.
They give him a gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Okoye again up the middle, squeezes through, gains yardage to the 29. So a pickup of 6 there. And this is a very manageable 3rd and short here for the Buffs. Brian Okoye, it's been up and down this year for him, Bryce. We've seen some games where he's really been solid, and then some games on the road where he struggled a little more, but they've run a lot of running backs in and out this year.
They really have, and I think he's one of those guys that benefits better from playing at home than on the road.
And he's a running back that likes the physical games as well. That ball juggled incomplete. Again, a little high Shaq Brown on the outside.
They came with a blitz that time from a corner blitz. Caden Choa, actually a linebacker blitz. He came up, and again, the receiver on the near side was trying to signal to Nick Gerber that this guy was coming from the outside, so he wanted him to look his way because, obviously, if he leaves that position, then that player's wide open.
Coverage on the play, the linebacker, Timothy Jones. So another punt coming here for Ollie Yart. New return man in for Eastern New Mexico.
And off to the races.
And it's a fake. Look at Maxwell Perez.
Oh, and his own man tripped him up.
He's got the first down. I had the binoculars out trying to pick up the number of the punt returner, and they faked even me out up here. Maxwell Perez on senior day is running free, and you're right, Bryce. Fellow senior Jeremy Carnbase
tripped him up. He tried to cut across, and we watch on the replay. So there was the snap, and so again, Carnbase up in front. He's trying to push him, trying to get over to help him out, trying to get in front of him. And so they both look at each other, and still, nevertheless, nice for the Buffs. They pick up the first down.
Great special teams play there for West Texas A&M. Offense right back on the field. Jared Compton on first down. Can't escape. Again, just the offensive line not getting the push that you want. Bo Burns comes through. The linebackers playing very aggressive right now.
Yeah, Bo Burns read that. He was not, again, it was Compton trying to cut back against the grain, and Burns just stayed at home, made the stop.
Loss of 2 on the run for Compton.
There's blitz.
Yep, again, this time Gerber gets outside the pocket, throws on the run.
Oh, there should be, that was contact before the ball even got there.
Incomplete.
Oh, and I'm surprised that the fans are going crazy on that side of the field because they saw it. The official obviously did not, but there was contact well before the ball even got there. So the Buffs are ready to go, and Easter's not. They might as well snap it quick. Go. And there should be a flag. No flag on that one either.
The pass is incomplete. Now this one is really bad. I don't know how they missed that one. The player from Eastern went all the way across, made contact.
Oh my land!
And nobody threw a flag either way, Bryce. Usually on those, it's at least questionable on whether you say, is this false start? Is it offsides? That one honestly looked clearly offsides, but.
Play clock's down to 20. They got to send in the punt team.
Coach Hughes still looking.
He's looking at the far.
For an explanation
because it was on the far side of the field. That was an easy call, and so again, that's back-to-back plays. The Buffs were not the beneficiary of any help whatsoever.
Yeah, you're looking 2 plays ago, perhaps pass interference. That one probably offsides. A punt. It's going to go out of bounds. Not as good a punt there from Yart. And Eastern offense is going to come back on the field. It's kind of at a stalemate right here on which offense can
he's still
get
coming,
something going.
Man, he came up to the 30.
All right, we're going to have a media timeout. We'll step aside. No score as West Texas A&M and Eastern New Mexico battling for the Wagon Wheel. We're back at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium right after this.
We know that egg producers don't quit at 5 p.m. We don't quit until the job's done either. Bankers' hours don't apply at First United Bank because we believe egg lending isn't a 9-to-5 job. While you're out working the fields or managing the herd, we're making sure your money is working too. Whether it's for livestock, land, or equipment, we're one of the most dominant egg lenders in the state and have been burning the midnight oil since 1907. First United Bank. We know ag lending. We know ag.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium, West Texas A&M, Eastern New Mexico scoreless in a strange first quarter. Bryce, 5:36 to play in the opening period.
And what we've seen, really, the offense has not been able to get on track. And so we anticipated that they probably could get off to an early start. They haven't been able to do it through an interception. And so, thankfully, Eastern hasn't, for the Buffalo's concern, haven't been able to take advantage of it. Yet at the same time, defensively, the Buffs have played well. Yet at times, Martin has been able to kind of pick them apart passing-wise. He's 4 of 9. He was 4 of 6 at one point. Now, his last 3 haven't been very good, but other than that, he was looking pretty good early in the quarter.
All right, Greyhounds offense back on the field. Campbell Keithley, the tight end to the right. They go with the run game on first down.
And did the ball come free? No, it didn't. The way they were dived up, and there's a late flag?
Oh, no.
What is this?
Again, this rivalry, you got to keep your emotions in check. And we'll see what this one is.
That's a great point, because in this particular game, this has been one of the Achilles heels for the Buffaloes
After
in
the
particular.
play, personal foul, number 91, defense, 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot, automatic first down.
So you want to see a coaching staff explode. During that timeout, Hunter Hughes was out there and asking why on the far side of the field there wasn't that offsides penalty. And it was obvious, in fact, that they didn't make the call. And so the official wasn't even coming over to engage at all. He was going to stay on the eastern side of the field.
Then doesn't help that the next play
you get a penalty for
a personal foul. So Eastern, that marches the football all the way up to the Greyhounds' 47-yard line, 1st and 10.
And again, the Greyhound offense has been playing much better here in this first quarter.
Whistle blows. Another flag is thrown. Is this movement?
False start.
Okay.
76 offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Eastern New Mexico's head coach Ty Hyatt in his first year, 4-7. This year, 2-7. He's comes over to Portales a few seasons ago. Previously, the offensive coordinator at Shepherd University, and a complete change, Bryce.
Yes.
I mean, we saw for several seasons,
centuries almost,
the wishbone, triple option, very specific attack, and so they've changed things up. Here's a handoff on the play over the left side, hard running from the new running back Keontae Stoker, who is a big boy, 230 pounds.
And Stoker hit it quickly, and again has good speed, so he got to the outside. They know that's where they need to attack, and so he didn't even mess around. He kind of made an up move and then went to the outside and was able to not only get the penalty yards back, but in addition pick up 3 more, and so that was an 8-yard run.
So that helps some of the yardage back off the false start at 2nd down and 7. They go with the run again over the left side, and a pretty good hole. Gain of about 2. The Greyhounds offense, 3.1 is what they average on the ground per attempt, and they've only had 7 rushing touchdowns. So you look at the offense, and the run game has struggled at times this year.
Well, and again, they love to throw the football more than they do run. And so, again, that's where Martin feels the most confident. And so that's what they want to try to do. Yet his percentage isn't showing that they're exceptional in that category yet.
Martin will throw on the outside, receiver wide open for an easy first down. And that was Wande again.
And the thing is, he was so wide open. And the Buffs, either they lost in containment or they were more concerned about the receiver going deep than they were the short receiver. And he caught it with nobody around. He had like a 10-yard cushion on that.
That's Quentin Evans, the corner over there, who's a true freshman from Mesquite, who he has replaced another true freshman, Sign Shuva, who had has had a great season, but he gets hurt last week on the road, another injury.
Right.
And so you just say, who's the next freshman that's going to step up?
That's exactly right.
Snap back to Martin. Throw on the outside, right on the money again to Wande. Again,
same play.
8 yards.
Same thing. They rush somebody up, and that's where you can see. I can even see it with the secondary. There's confusion out there. Who's taking who? That's why they have on the short receiver not going very far up, but they're taking the secondary deeper, and so that leaves a lot of room once you catch the ball for those yards after the catch.
Well, the last 2 throws from Case and Martin, very impressive. I mean, way across the field. He's got the arm strength. There's a collision with the running back Stoker.
And big tackle that time for the Buffaloes. Leo Covington comes up and just plants him. Carson Otworth, before that play, he was looking at the secondary, one of the secondary players, and said, hey, we've got to make sure we've got who we're supposed to be covering. That's why they've made these short passes. And again, that run was enough to pick up another first down.
Yeah, if you're Eastern, you're getting closer to the red zone. And if you're head coach Ty Hyatt, you say, look, we got to score some points here. New running back in. It's Isaiah Tate, the starter, in the pistol right behind Martin.
There's movement.
On the right side of that offensive line, the Greyhounds.
Brock Thetford that
Ball
time
start.
just started before.
Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty, first down.
The line, not huge. I mean,
No.
a little undersized. They got a couple guys, 265, and then the right tackle, Jalen Wilson, just 255.
And when so you see something like that, that tells you a little bit that they're not beefy, but they're quick. They got good feet and they got good movement.
So the Greyhounds now with 1st and 15 from the WT 29-yard line, and the running back going backwards. Good job by the Buffaloes defensively. Making the stop was Daniel Ajayi.
Ajayi, who had a big game last week.
Yes.
Again, now comes up another one of those linebackers not projected to be out there early in a ball game, and he's doing a nice job here in the last couple of ball games.
Well, it's like Chris Thomas is the dad, right? And he's got all these young pups with him. Kobe King's a redshirt freshman, Sam Hampton sophomore, Oster sophomore, Covington, Ajayi, and Sugg all freshmen.
But if you're going to learn from somebody, look at number 31 and watch what he does.
2nd down and long for Eastern, 2nd and 16. They'll stay on the ground, though, as they run to the left side. And that was a strong run from Isaiah Tate. Bounced it outside and kind of took Ty Dillon with him for a good gain. It's going to set up 3rd and 9. And you look at both of these teams so far in the quarter, Bryce, 3rd down has not been pretty. Stats haven't updated yet, but the Buffs started off 0 for 3. Eastern started off 1 for 3. Play clock down to 13 seconds, 12 seconds. Greyhounds getting set. They're not going to have much time. Tight end goes in motion. And it's a run play, and looked like it was going to open up, but Ajayi makes a great tackle at the 19-yard line. Did that not look like the hole was there?
Did. There was a huge hole, and all of a sudden 35 kind of ducks underneath the blocking that was coming at him, basically, and makes a great open field tackle to stop that. It makes it 4th and 5. So now decision time. Do you go for the field goal or you try to go for it? Looks like the offense is staying out there. They're going to let the quarter run out is what they're going to do.
Yeah, down to just 2 seconds. So that'll take us to the 2nd quarter. Decision time here for Ty Hyatt with his team.
That's the end of the first
facing
quarter.
a 4th and short. Are they going to go for it, or are they going to bring the field goal team out? We'll find out when we come back. No score between the Buffaloes and the Greyhounds, and we're back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer and put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. You see some of the crowd out enjoying today's contest here as the Buffaloes and Eastern New Mexico. Scoreless tie going into the 2nd quarter. However, Eastern with a decision to make. They have 4th and 5 as they are within field goal range, but they had a field goal attempt earlier that hit the crossbar and bounced back.
Does it change?
Well, you got the win at your back.
Okay.
Now, I mean, that is one thing you got to consider. You've got the win at your back. And so, but the big other difference is when they were warming up before the start of the game, they were going to the south end, so they were going into the wind.
And they will bring Cooper Hamilton back out. He's got a strong leg. Earlier this year, made a 50-yard field goal against Tarleton.
I don't think his power is – I think he's got great power.
36-yard try here, and
yeah, he looked more comfortable on that
one.
attempt.
Yeah, that one is good. We'll keep it right here, and the score goes to 3-0 Greyhounds early in the second quarter.
Yeah, again, just a nice job to get those 3 points on the board. WT Athletics would like to thank AOMS for their continued support of our athletes. AOMS, the official oral surgery of WT Athletics, is committed to your family, helping keep them healthy and happy and great, brilliant smiles. Also, we would like to recognize Dan Schumann. Edward Jones is a proud partner of WT Athletics. Thank you for your continued support of our Buffs and Lady Buffs. That was a 10-play drive that went 51 yards, capped off in a 36-yard field goal, and Greyhounds take the early lead here as they lead with 14:56 left to play in the first half. They lead 3-0.
All right, Buffaloes with the offense getting set to come back out. Need to get things going. You know, we've seen WT, even in losses this year, put up a lot of yardage and pretty good numbers, but that has not been the case so far tonight. Just 60 total yards of offense. 63 of those, Bryce, are on the ground, so they only have -3 pass yards.
Yeah, they just have not got in rhythm here. And so you're wondering, is that a carryover from the Western New Mexico game? The fact that Western scores in the last play of the ball game basically to take the win, they just haven't recovered?
Using the wind, this kickoff goes deep, nearly back up there by the wheel, right?
Yeah, talk about a strong leg. Cooper put everything he had into that one. And so, again, now we'll see if the Buffaloes, they played a quarter. It's the Wagon Wheel game. There is, a lot of anxiousness, a lot of adrenaline. And so, again, will it be where they play a little bit more under, control here a little bit? Will Nick Gerber try to push the tempo a little bit? That's one thing they haven't done yet. When they start getting into a tempo game, they seem to improve.
New running back for the Buffs, it's Isaiah Smallwood. He gets the carry on first down. And again, Eastern right there in his face. It's just a short gain, and you have one of the linebackers that time, Timothy Jones, comes up and puts a big boom on the runner.
Isaiah had a choice of really two holes there, A or B, and he chose A. And again, the linebacker read it too. So had he gone the other side, maybe he would have got a few more, but just a nice read by the Eastern linebacker to come up and make the stop.
All right, the Lone Star Conference has been wild and woolly this year. Here's a score for you early. Second quarter, 9-0. Central Washington leads at number 2 Angelo State.
Oh, my.
Gerber, handoff to Smallwood. They seal the edge, and he gets around. Depends on where he stepped out of bounds. He's going to be short of the first down by a couple of yards, but that one was blocked well. Maxwell Perez, and also on the left side, Adam Alcorta, the tackle.
And again, Alcorta's done such a beautiful job this year. You can do a lot of things with him out at your left tackle, and that was just another example. Sets a seal block, and then you get the tight end over there helping as well. That allowed for Isaiah to get to the outside.
So it's a 3rd down and 2 for the Buffaloes. Gerber fakes it to Smallwood, complete to Tipton, and Tipton's got a first down into the Greyhounds secondary, taken down at the 46-yard line.
Let's see if the Buffs go with tempo now, because they've kind of got a little bit of a rhythm. Let's see if they go quickly.
Two tight ends on the field. The handoff to Smallwood over the left side, runs through a defender right at midfield. Good pickup there for Isaiah, who this season has now nearly 90 carries, 4 touchdowns, and has improved over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, he continues to get better each and every game. And again, you see the confidence level, the way he can read and kind of react.
Second down play here. 13:15 to play. Second quarter. Gerber, play action, throw outside to Bogardus, made the defender fall down. And now Noah's fighting for extra yardage. Another first down for the Buffs. Greyhound territory down to the 37-yard line.
Again, trying to push tempo a little bit. The coach is already signaling in the next play. They want to keep Eastern off balance.
Gerber goes option to the near side. Smallwood is got a good run, hit hard out of bounds after picking up right at 10 yards. Did he get the first down?
I think
yes,
he did.
Got 11.
So a nice run that time. Again, great blocking on the near side, and he was able to turn the corner and get up the field.
So we've seen more option plays tonight, Bryce, from WT.
Than we've had in a long time.
Yeah, and more than Eastern New Mexico.
Yeah, that's true.
These are
give
not
them
the same.
Give them a little of their own medicine.
Not the same teams. It's a 3-0 lead for the Greyhounds here in the second quarter. Shaq Brown goes in motion from right to left. Smallwood. Yeah, nothing going there.
That got blown up from the get-go, so he gets back to the line of scrimmage. The Canyon Chamber of Commerce is a proud partner of WT Athletics. The Canyon Chamber works with local businesses to provide economic growth for the city of Canyon. Thank you for your continued support of WT Athletics.
I'll tell you, one of the defensive linemen that really disrupted that play was Fadley Patigny, number 92.
Yeah.
And so it's second down and 10 for the Buffs. Tipton and Bogardus, the receivers, to the near side. And it's going to be a pass play here. Gerber in trouble, running around. And he's going to tuck it at the 20. A nice little fake. And so hard to contain number 15 back there. Just made one man miss, and then it was easy money.
And that was key. He made the right man miss because they really had him locked up. And so he was able to duck underneath, got away from the tackler, got to the outside, and then just had, again, great blocking up the field. Actually had a receiver take his defender further up.
Nick has done that so many times over the last 4 years, Bryce. You just expect it. Here's a handoff to Okoye. Good run. Okoye runs through a defender at the end of that one. You got a little shiftiness and you got some power. That is what we like to see from the young running back Okoye.
Yeah, Brian does a nice job, and again, he loves the contact. You can see he kind of explodes when he gets there and just able to take on the defender and just keep plowing ahead.
Nearly got the first down, so it's second down and half yard here for the Buffs. From the Greyhounds 6-yard line, WT trailing by a field goal. Shaq Brown is the fullback. Shaq Brown gets the ball and goes forward, for a first down to the 4. Nearly the 3-yard line.
You know, you made a point that we're seeing more option from WT than what we used to from Eastern. And the thing is, you bring out some of those old plays because you ran them in practice getting ready for this game.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea to dust some of those off.
All three tight ends on the field. Carnbay on the left, Maxwell Perez on the right, and Shaq Brown, the fullback. Gerber under center. Old school football here. And Shaq Brown dives forward. Touchdown, Buffaloes. Shaq Brown over the right side. Good blocking by the Buffs offensive line, and WT takes the lead 6-3.
Nice drive, nice dive off the right side of the line at that time. And again, credit Zane Madison, Patrick Gray, Grayson Williams. As they go up there, you watch on the replay here, he just dives off the right side. A seal block by none other than Maxwell Perez. He kind of seals the corner and then allows his fellow tight end to get in for the score.
So one senior scores the touchdown. Here's a senior for the extra point, Urias. And it is good. Buffs lead it 7-3. A good response on that drive. 10:26 to play here in the second quarter. And WT up by 4 points. We're back on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network right after this.
WT and the Department of Agricultural Sciences has provided high-quality education to the students of the Panhandle and beyond.
At WT, professors know me and are committed to my success.
If you want to get an ag industry job, WT is where you need to be.
I don't want just a job and a paycheck after graduation. I want a career where I can make a difference.
WT invested in my career. I intend to pay it forward.
Energy is a glowing sphere of hot gas. It's an ocean of air. And at Excel Energy, we make it safe. It's why we train first responders. Help you identify where utility lines are buried. Sir, do not dig there. And it's why we study the flight paths of majestic golden eagles before we build a wind farm. Safer energy, people. It's all part of a carbon-free 2050. You, us, together.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. Buffs lead at 7-3. They answer the 36-yard field goal from Cooper Hamilton as the Buffs go on a 11-play, 75-yard drive. It takes 4 minutes, 30 seconds off the clock. And they cap it off with a Shaq Brown run in the end zone. Gage Rice extra point is good, and the Buffs now take the lead 7-3 with 10:26 left to play here in the first half. And that was the drive we anticipated probably in the first half.
Yeah, for Buffaloes and Greyhounds. Let's talk about the series a little bit. 18-17 in favor of WT. They lead the series. Now that the Wagon Wheel, since that was in play, 17-16 advantage to West Texas A&M. The Buffs won the game last year in Portales, 44-24. They picked off the quarterback 5 times. Tobias Harris had 3 of those interceptions. Last time Eastern won, remember that one?
I do.
Well, unfortunately, we tried to put that out of memory banks, but the stats remind us 28-0 that Eastern won that game at Kimbrough Stadium. And so this is, Bryce, the first time for Eastern to play here at Buffalo Stadium.
Right. They didn't play in 2020. They didn't have a program that year because of COVID. And so, as you talked about last year, the Buffs go there and take the win. So their first opportunity to play here at the immaculate Bain Schaefer Stadium. You want to know why there's a difference there. Those 2 games, one was 1945. They didn't have a wagon wheel.
Okay.
They were still using wagon wheels back then.
All right, the kickoff, again, the wind kind of puts it up at the 20-yard line, and a good return from number 17, Greg Thomas.
Well, you got a good spot because he was taken down at about the 38. They mark it up to the 40. And so, again, a nice return on that one. The other was in 2014. That was a playoff game. So, again, they weren't playing for the Wagon Wheel. They were playing in the playoffs. And so that's why those 2 games don't come into play for the Wagon Wheel.
So we'll see what the Greyhound offense can do. Again, they've moved the ball, had a couple of nice drives, but they've stalled, just not been able to put the ball in the end zone. On first down, a throw on the outside, catch made. And a good job by the tight end. You like to see Campbell Keithley there, Bryce. He catches it right near the sideline, but he didn't step out. He caught it and turned and said, no, I'm going upfield. I'm going to gain 2 more yards.
Well, the question is, whose responsibility is that? Because they've had several receivers that have been wide open. They only go up about 3 or 4 yards. So the Buffs are not catching those short passes on the near or far side, and that's what Eastern's been exploiting. 7 of 12 for Martin in the passing department so far.
On second down and short, Tate will take the run, and Tate, big hole over the right side, and he was dragging Buff defenders all the way down to the 42-yard line. First down, Greyhounds, and some explosion shown there from the 190-pound junior, Tate.
Again, just a nice job off the right side of that line, and so he was going behind Brock Thetford and Sam Piotrowski, and both of those guys just kind of gave him a nice lane to run through, and he exploited it. Again, we talk about the line's not huge, but they're quick, and that's what makes a big difference.
Tate still in at running back, set to the left. They fake it to him. Martin is going to run it. Nobody was open, and Martin does his best job there. Gets to the 39-yard line.
Wasn't a slide to go down. It was more of a trip, and he falls down.
It was.
It's like the 40-yard line reached him and tripped him up.
We talked about his arm strength, and he definitely can throw it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much head coach Ty Hyatt wants him running, but that time it was the right play.
And it was, because he saw coverage was good, so he had the left side of the pocket that time to kind of squirt through, does so, and picks up a nice 3 or 4 yard gain.
Tate carries it over the right side as Dylan Mata combines with Cole Oster to make the stop. It's going to be a third down and short here for Eastern New Mexico.
Again, nice job by the Buffs to come up, but right side of that line opened up another hole for him to get through, and so he picks up about another 3 yards on the carry.
Buff fans up on their feet on third down and 4, a long 4, I guess. Eastern, watch out for the tight end, Brazee White, on the right side. Now they bring the other tight end, set to the left as a blocker. Tate can't escape the Buffs as Oster shot through first, slowed the runner up, and in the Buffs.
Nice. Colt comes up, Cole Holster does just kind of wrap him up and takes him down. And so, again, nice job. Also credit Daniel Ajayi. And the one thing about it, with the injuries, guys like Ajayi are getting a lot more experience, and that's just a benefit for the Buffs.
See if Eastern's going to go for it. Nope, I think they're going quick kick here. The quarterback scoots back. Martin will quick kick it. It's not a very good punt. Buffs are going to take it at the 22-yard line and then fall down right there, as that was Freddie Simmons on the short return. I don't know if that's what Coach Hyatt had in mind with that that quick kick, Bryce.
Well, and again, it's one of those where you practice it 3 or 4 times, and so you have it in your bag, but nevertheless, just, not the execution you want. Hey, we'd like to thank Jimmy Fincher Body Shop for their support of WT Athletics. Equally skilled at repairing damages or customizing your vehicle, Jimmy Fincher is your top Amarillo body shop.
WT offense had an impressive drive last time they were on the field, scored the touchdown. Gerber and the troops back on the field on first down, handoff to Smallwood, waiting for something to open up over the right side, and the Greyhounds do a pretty good job of short gain, maybe 2 yards for Smallwood over the right side.
He tried to go, actually he wanted to go left, and then it was blocked up, so he switches to the right side that time and was able to at least keep the feet churning to pick up 2 yards.
You mentioned the tempo on the last drive. Buffs like that. They feel like that's to their advantage, and so they try to hurry up here. And you got to look for, Eastern has done a lot of blitzing in this first half.
Correct.
Gerber fakes it, throws on the outside. Chris Sims makes the catch. That was a perfect throw because there were a couple of defenders in the vicinity.
Just about a yard short of the first down. They've got to get to the 32. So he needs about a 3rd and a yard. Nice catch by Sims because he had a defender right there on him, but he was able to reach down and pull that ball in.
Sims, a redshirt freshman from Arlington, his 20th catch on the season. And the handoff going nowhere. Maybe a loss on the play as Eastern makes a huge stop. That defensive line pushing backwards, and Isaiah Smallwood had nowhere to go.
No, not at all. And so, again, now still a yard for the first down. The offense is staying out there, but the punt team started to go, and they called them back.
7-3.
I'm wondering if this is the offense saying, hey, we've got it. Let us stay out here.
Well, they're going to go Shaq Brown under center, and Nick Gerber's lined up as wide receiver. Shaq over the right side needed a yard.
Based on the spot of the near side official, they got it.
Okay.
He's saying move the chains.
So a good job there. The Buffs get just enough to keep the drive going, and if you're Eastern New Mexico, that just took a lot out of them. You can tell they were celebrating. Hey, it's 4th down, it's punt time. So a big call there by Coach Hughes. Greyhounds defense wasn't even ready there. Smallwood bursts through and picks up yardage to the 39-yard line. A nice 7-yard run for Isaiah Smallwood.
And again, that's what you want when you're looking to kind of keep the apple cart off balance a little bit. When they're not ready, go ahead and snap the ball.
Hand off to Smallwood again up the middle. A couple of defensive linemen combine to tackle him after just a gain of 1. Third down and a yard and a half.
And again, the same thing is happening here a little bit. We'll just watch to see as Cameron Santa Cruz and Zeri and Meander, again, they're the leading tacklers from the safety positions, kind of inch up, get a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
Meander, local product out of Amarillo, played his high school ball for the Randall Raiders. Handoff, Jared Compton, strong running, first down Buffs. Kind of runs into the defensive lineman, and Jared wins that battle.
That's just those strong legs. I mean, just keep him churning, and he does, and he does positive things. And so that time was able to pick up the first down.
I wonder if the Buffs are going to hit a play action here in a little bit. They've been run.
That's what I mean. They're sucking that secondary up.
They roll Gerber to the right. Quarterback run here. Good blocking, and Nick is going to be ushered out of bounds near midfield. Tackle on the far side by number 24 for Eastern New Mexico, and that is Lino Odenot.
Odenot's been in on a couple of tackles, and again, just has some good movement.
A lot of clock running here in the second quarter on this drive. Under 4 minutes to play before halftime. The second down and 6 play for the Buffs. Gerber will come up and make a change. Eastern showing pressure again. It's quarterback keep. Gerber cuts it up the middle, across midfield into Greyhound territory. And again, you're going to have a third down, and this time about 3. Bo Burns on the tackle for the Greyhounds.
The thing they like, obviously, the running game keeps everything moving, keeps the clock going. And again, when you have the lead, 7-3 like the Buffs do, plays into your benefit. Gerber walks up to the line, changes the play.
Compton's the running back to the left. Again, working the clock, just letting this thing run. Play clock's down under 10 seconds. They go play action. Gerber has Shaq Brown, and it's a one-handed catch. Oh, baby.
Wow. And that goes back to what we were talking about, sucking those guys up, bringing them closer and closer. That time the tight end, you watch on the replay, gets ahead, and watch this catch. Left hand sticks it out there, pulls it into his chest.
Nice. Gerber's running on first down at the 25, out of bounds, close to another first down. And again, Greyhounds defense was just not set. They weren't ready.
And that's the thing, that tempo, you try to keep them off balance. So they've got to get set quicker. Buffs are bringing wholesale changes there this time. They bring in Brian Okoye. Once again, Okoye out there to the deep back.
Kenneth Red Jr., the slot receiver. Hand off to Okoye. Good job reading his blockers, staying on his feet down to the 15, 14-yard line. Tough run from Okoye. Pickup of 8, first down.
Again, nice job. You described that perfectly because he had 2 men in front of him that were setting the corners a little bit, and he just got to pick a lane once he saw where they were going, cut it back to the inside, and pick up the first down.
Good job by this Buffalo offensive line. They started out that first quarter, did not look like themselves.
They didn't, but now they're settling in.
They have made some good adjustments. Gerber throws to the far side, catch made by Red Jr. And Eastern was there. Give credit to Caden Ochoa for reading that play and coming over from the safety position, making a good tackle.
And the thing is, Nick sold it, so Ochoa started to come in. Then he saw the quarterback step back, so he stayed true, stayed out where he was, and he was able to make that read and make that stop.
Good awareness, good speed from Ochoa Jr. out of Bakersfield, California, transfer from Fresno City Junior College. On the season, came into this game, 27 tackles, 4 pass breakups, an interception, and a forced fumble. There's Gerber looking at the defense again, reading things. Hand off to Okoye around the outside. And good pursuit by Meander to come across and make the tackle right at the 10-yard line.
Stops the clock with 1:03 left to play here in the first half. Buffs lead at 7-3, but are threatening. And again, it looks like in this particular drive, the Buffs are very comfortable with where the clock is. They're trying to take it down as much as they possibly can.
Eastern did win the toss, so they'll get the football to start the third quarter. So this is big right here, the Buffaloes. Any points you can get. Obviously going to help increase this lead right now. It's 7-3 Buffs. Gerber going to run to the right side, and it was not there. He was waiting for that hole to develop, and it didn't happen. Justin Binvey, one of the linebackers, came up. And Eastern very quickly comes in and takes a timeout. They're not going to let the clock run. They want to get the football back, whether WT is going to kick a field goal or what's going to happen here on fourth down.
Absolutely, and also make them make a decision because the Buffs are probably going to let the clock run, but they decided to use one of their timeouts.
Timeout,
so,
Eastern.
Let's keep it here, and we'll look back at the Lone Star Conference scoreboard. Go ahead,
While you're
Russ.
doing that real quick, we'd like to thank Kenny Dean State Farm for being a proud partner of WT Athletics. For great service, great rates, call Kenny Dean State Farm. Also, Journey Canyon Coffee is a proud supporter of WT Athletics. Stop in or drive through for your favorite hot or iced drink. Thank you for your continued support of our athletics. And also, we would like to thank Legends of Canyon. WT Athletics would like to thank Legends Canyon for being a proud sponsor of the WT student section for all their athletic events. Thank you for your continued support. And I'm trying to think, we have Kent Johnson also.
We're gonna check with Kent, and he's got Taylor Harris, former player. We'll try to get him maybe in the third quarter.
Okay.
So it'd be good to visit with one of the former Buff players.
That has been involved in this series a few times.
Yeah,
as
you're
well.
right.
And so, again, you were looking at the scoreboard. Western Oregon was losing to Simon Fraser. Or I should say Simon Fraser was losing to Western Oregon.
Yeah, final 32-7 there. The Wolves win. When you go to Monmouth, Oregon, Bryce, it's going to be difficult. A lot of teams have found that out.
It is. It's a tough place to play. It really is.
Other scores, Angelo State still trailing Central Washington, 5:57 to play before halftime. It's 9-0. Central Washington, yeah. I mean, a lot of talent. You know, we saw them here. The Buffs really controlled that game, but Central Washington was having quarterback issues.
Right. And if they got that sorted out, really, that does make them quite a bit different. So 54 seconds left to play here before the end of the first half. Fourth down. Buffs have brought out the field goal team.
Yeah, it'll be a 27-yard try for Gage Urias. Gage this season, 15 of 20 on field goals. And again, some big ones along this season, 48 yards at Adams State. The hold from quarterback Kyle Brown. And Gage, did he push it left? He did. The field goal was missed. And that is a big stop. Look at Eastern celebrating. A lot of momentum there for their defense, as what looked like the Buffs were going to get tacked 3 more points on. Instead, Bryce, the score stays at 7-3.
Well, again, you control the clock, you control the drive there, and you got down to where you got it. Now, again, they were on the near hash, so you're going with the crosswind. The wind is blowing across there, and so you kind of try to adjust it. And I say that like I know what I'm doing when I'm kicking the football, but you're just trying to adjust it to compensate for the wind, and that time the wind just carried it all the way across. And that's just the opposite of what Eastern did. They tried to adjust the kick to the wind. That's how he kicked the crossbar.
So Kaysen Martin gets a chance here. Not much time. Martin's going to run and scramble for the first down. Also get out of bounds. Stop the clock with 41 seconds. Great coverage by the Buffs. But again, you know, unlike Nick Gerber, there's not anybody that's really spying back on the quarterback.
No.
So Martin recognizes it early enough, takes off and runs.
Yeah, and again, I think that was the instruction too. Okay, we're going to try to run a couple of things. We want some guys to go deep. But if there's nothing over the middle, then just take off and fill the void.
First and 10 from the 32-yard line. Martin, quick throw on the outside. Wande makes the catch. Dillon was very close to breaking that ball up.
Dillon actually had a good read on that.
Yeah.
And Ty almost probably could have come up if he had had a half-second lead on that. He would have come up with an interception. That's the one thing when you're throwing at the end of a quarter like this, when they anticipate that's all you're going to do, then again, they can kind of cheat a little bit on their coverage and come up and not only tip it away, but try to come up with an INT.
Did get out of bounds, so the clock now runs at 36 seconds. Pump fake, throw up in the air, tipped, and incomplete. Again, there's Ty Dillon. He's having a good battle tonight with a talented receiver, Asa Wande.
And again, Ty had a great read on that one. Only a 3-man rush for the Buffaloes. And so it's 3rd down and 2.
Greyhounds do have 1 timeout remaining.
Right. So they got to go 2 to pick up the first down. And so you'd anticipate this to be probably a run in order to pick up the first down. But we'll see.
Tight game here in this wagon wheel matchup. 7-3 lead for the Buffs. They run it. And just picking up enough for the first down was the running back Howard Russell, the sophomore from Phoenix.
So they'll move the chains, stop the clock for a moment, and then you'll see Eastern go quick.
The clock's already running. 24 seconds, 23, 22. A lot of time being wasted here with still that 1 timeout. Now they get the snap. Martin unloads down the side and through his intended receiver's hands. You can see that Tyree Cherry so frustrated, Bryce. That's one where the hands are up in the air, and you think, squeeze them together and catch that one.
I got it. And then all of a sudden you don't. You're going, what happened? And so that was a nice throw. And again, that's what hurts quarterback statistics, because if you're Kason Martin, you can't throw it any better than that.
Well, and if he makes that catch, now you're running up, maybe spiking it, keeping that timeout. There's 13 seconds left, and you're getting closer to field goal range. Instead, it is 2nd down and 10. The ball still on the Greyhounds' 43-yard line. Buffs bring some pressure. Martin steps up, throws, catch made, and then quickly out of bounds. Wande with 7 seconds left.
Still in Buff territory.
Yeah, maybe one more play.
At the 44-yard line.
If you can run it quick enough and get down, you still have that one timeout if you're Eastern New Mexico. It's just got to be a quick.
And again, it'll be along the sideline. I
mean,
they can go over the middle, but if they do, the Buffs should just hold them up and let the clock run.
7 seconds left. Snap back to Martin. Quick throw. Wande catches it and out of bounds. With 3 seconds left.
So again, either you had a shot at the field goal.
They're winding the clock. They just wound the clock, and the scoreboard
That's
shows
the end
zeros.
of the first half.
Wow. Eastern didn't even get a chance to take the timeout, Bryce, because I think they thought the official had said he was out of bounds. And you want to see a coach that is frustrated. The Greyhounds coaching staff beside themselves. There was 3 seconds left. The scoreboard operator up top stopped the clock. The official wound the clock. So both coaching staffs have had some calls that have not gone their way.
And Martin is asking the umpire, what happened? Because he thought, again, it looked like, and that's exactly what it looked like. The player caught it, stepped out of bounds, and that would stop the clock.
Well, so interesting end there to this first half. Kent Johnson waiting for head coach Hunter Hughes, and I think he's got coach.
So let's head down to the field and Kent Johnson. Kent?
Well, it's halftime. We're with head coach Hunter Hughes, and during pregame we talked about how that wagon wheel, you can throw out the record, strange things happen.
Yeah, and right now they're playing like they want it more than we do. And they're beating us in both line of scrimmages, offense and defense. And, that's what they're just playing harder than we are. And we knew that. We knew that coming in. And our guys got to realize that going into this half.
Well, the wagon's wheels on the hill. Which team wants it more? We'll find out in the second half. Thanks, Coach. Back up to you guys.
All right, Ken, thanks very much. Again, the score here at the half is 7-3. Not the offensive output we expected in this one, but then you just heard Coach Hughes talking about, again, they wanted a little more, it seems like, so he's going to probably rally both offense and defensive lines to kind of get a little more in step for the second half.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be in that locker room right now at halftime. We're going to have some fiery speech, perhaps.
It could be.
Halftime score, Buffs lead at 7-3. We'll take a timeout. Be right back with our halftime festivities here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Delicious, refreshing, Pepsi.
Since 1910, WT and the Department of Agricultural Sciences have served the Panhandle and beyond.
Today, WT is committed to continuing an ag heritage tradition while inspiring innovation and cutting-edge education. As a regional research university, through ag industry partnerships, WT is focused on solving real-world problems and developing future ag leaders. For more information about supporting WT Ag, go to wtamu.edu/agday.
We're visiting today with James Thompson, and James is the coordinator for military and veteran, community coordinator for military and veterans on campus here. And James, just talk a little bit, I guess, one, why is there that position for veterans as they either come back to school or want to be a part of what's going on? Explain how that all works.
Okay, sure. Many of our veterans, and we actually have three different populations here. We have the active duty folks that are basically distance learners, and then we have veterans that are on-campus students that actually served. Many of these have served overseas, served in combat, and things like that. And then we have veteran beneficiaries that are essentially the children of veterans that are using the benefits. We do have a particular focus on the veterans because many times the veterans, when they come back from the military service, they've experienced some type of trauma, things that much of the time they don't necessarily believe that people understand how that is. And it is beneficial for them to get together and talk amongst themselves about things that happen in the service, how they're adapting to civilian life, how they're adapting to a college environment. Because the military is very structured, and many times the college environment is not so much structured. They encourage critical, independent thinking and things like that. And sometimes it just doesn't sit well with the veterans. They have a hard time adapting to it. So that's part of our program that we work with the veterans to help that. And we have many, many resources, both on campus and out in the community.
So I guess that brings a question to lead into then. Are veterans aware of the resources that are available, or is that part of what you try to do is to educate to let them know, here's some different programs you can get into?
We actually do both. We do have, and one thing that we are starting is a new student orientation specifically for veterans. They are, as they come to our office to receive their benefits, we do go over all the resources that are available. A couple of the items that we have that sort of help them with this is that we have gatherings, we have coffees, we have lunches, and we can sit and talk about things. We bring folks in from VA and from some veteran support organizations that are outside the university that will come and talk to them about benefits that are available. We also have online discussion that's just for the veterans, and we post things in there, job information, and organization like the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation has a Hiring Our Heroes program. It's very good, and it's applicable across the nation for veterans and for veteran spouses. So,
Veterans Day is coming. It's right around the corner. I know you have a lot of activities going on here on campus. Kind of explain what all is going on during the week.
Okay. On November 5th, when we do our football game, as well as the volleyball game, that's going to be going on near that date. We're going to be doing a tailgate for our veteran folks. We're going to be handing out T-shirts to them, and then the veterans get in for free at the football game. We're going to have sort of a ceremony there at the football game, and then that leads into the week where we're going to follow up with a breakfast on Tuesday, just for the veterans, and we're going to have some folks from VA here. And then the next day, we're actually going to have an appreciation lunch for all of our veterans and all of our military affiliate students. And then on Thursday, and I'm trying to remember all of this.
There's a lot.
We have there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
We have, we're going to have at the campus Veterans Memorial, we're going to have a little reflection ceremony. And on Thursday, we're going to have one that's out in the JBK Commons.
Okay.
That's going to be for anyone to come by and express, leave a note of appreciation for a veteran service and things. Because we sort of emphasize with the student body, what do veterans mean to you?
Right.
And many folks have, veterans, fathers or mothers or grandparents that were involved in the military. And we're also participating with the Canyon Junior High School. They're having on Veterans Day, they're having a veterans celebration at school that we'll be going to.
It's incredible what all you've got going on, and obviously you're just stepping into it, but there's a lot down the road that's coming in the direction for veterans as well.
It is. It is a very busy job, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. It's it really. I've always supported veterans. I've kind of felt like that sometimes they're kind of an underserved population.
Sure.
And they have very unique needs, and I really appreciate the opportunities that I've had to work with them and then what's coming in the future. We are working on establishing a center of excellence for veteran student success here on campus. And we're working with the Texas Veterans Commission to help with some of the aspects of establishing that center. And it's, we're working in consortiums with some of the other colleges and things. So
a lot of good things ahead.
A lot happening.
Very
good. It is really good.
Very good. James Thompson, thanks so much. Appreciate the time today. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it.
90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our show.
Well, welcome back to our halftime where the Buffaloes lead 7-3 in a game. Ken Johnson joins us up here in the booth where it took the Buffaloes a while to get going, and Eastern's just kind of been playing between the 20s.
Well, Eastern has been playing on emotion,
right?
Which, in a rivalry game happens. And the Buff defense has done a good job of keeping Eastern out of the end zone, out of the red zone. But Eastern's defense has done a good job up until the final 2 drives by the Buffaloes of kind of bottling up Nick Gerber and his offense.
The one thing the Buffs did do on that one drive where they did score the touchdown is they had tempo. In other words, they break that out every once in a while, and they try to speed up the game, and that seemed to work to their advantage. On the last drive, they tried to go the other way. They were moving the ball, but they were trying to use as much of the clock as they could. And then, of course, they miss out on the field goal opportunity. So that's where we set 7-3 here at the half.
Eastern at this point with 157 total yards. That's right on their season average of just over 300. The Buffs have accumulated 200 yards, but having only 1 touchdown to score for it, it just seems like they're playing from behind.
Well, Nick Gerber is the one that's kind of leading everything. Of course, he has thrown for 50 yards through the air, as Nick has also been one of the leading rushers in this one tonight. And it's been his rushes that have kept Eastern kind of off balance defensively.
Yeah, the Buff offense is that pass out to the sideline, and then you run off tackle. And then Nick's runs keep the defense honest, and that's what we've seen. But, when that final drive of the quarter or of the half bogged down, they didn't get in the end zone, and then Urias misses the field goal. That can deflate you. So it'll be interesting to see at halftime what Coach Hughes told the team and how they respond.
Well, that goes back to your halftime comments from Coach Hughes. He said we weren't playing with any emotion offensively or defensively, and so I guess that's really the question. You go in, and that's what you talk about and get ready to play the second half.
Well, and we'll see how the Buffs come out. It's a rivalry game. There shouldn't be any issues there, and second half should be a fun one.
7-3 is our score at the half. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so. We'll be back with our second half after this on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to MetaDrive Pharmacy, Canyon's hometown pharmacy for over 32 years. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to counsel you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly, professional service and the highest quality medicines and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your healthcare needs.
Suddenlink is now Optimum, with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. You see our score here at the half, 7-3 in the favor of the Buffaloes. And really, Lucas, when you look at it, the question is, does the Buffalo offense kind of get excited and come out and go back to that tempo? And you see Zane Madison right there as he's kind of taking it all in on his last home ball game. And so, again, you want to see what the Buffs are going to do. Obviously, Eastern will come out with their offense first after the Buffs kick this one away. Again, the Buffs leading this one 7-3 as we go into the third quarter.
Yeah, for one stat that stands out team-wise, which it hasn't really related into points or production for the Greyhounds with what they would like, but the time of possession is huge.
I was wondering if it was correct. 21-11 for Eastern to 7:49 for the Buffaloes. And so, again, they've had the ball most of the time, but they've just been able to generate that field goal, and that's been it.
Buffalo's getting it done on the ground with the 153 on the rushing yardage. Eastern New Mexico, really more passing, I guess, 93 yards passing, 10 of 17 from Kaysen Martin. But
you know, Hunter Hughes would take that 153 and a half
Sure.
every ball game. It
Sure.
just doesn't seem like they're in rhythm.
Really good defense by the Buffaloes, holding them just 3 points. This kickoff taken inside the 20-yard line by Russell. Runs through the would-be tackler, still on his feet, spinning off tacklers all the way across midfield. What a return there for the Greyhounds. And, you know, they had the momentum. They stopped the Buffs, held them to a field goal, a short field goal try. The field goal was no good. They were very excited, moved the ball down the field. Here's a look at the return again. But they got some momentum here as we start the second
Well,
half.
they did just before the half, obviously, and so they're questioning whether the clock stopped or not. Then Ashton Reynolds makes a nice stop here in order to prevent a touchdown on a nice return for the Greyhounds by Howard Russell.
All right, on first down, Kaysen Martin will hand it off to Tate. Started up the middle, made a good cut, and that's a nice run, good push from that Greyhound offensive line behind the center, Christian Griego. And we've seen Eastern stay committed to the ground game.
They have, and again, what that does too is it does the same thing to our defense, and it opens it up for those short passes to the sidelines. And then again, if they want to try something deep, they can do that as well.
Martin will throw on second down, and a perfect pass that was dropped. That's the first drop from Asa Wande, sure-handed receiver, and I think he could hear footsteps coming behind and wanted to make sure he kind of braced for the impact, and he forgot to secure the ball. It's incomplete.
Yeah, absolutely. He heard people coming, and so kind of took his eye off the ball and was looking to see who was going to hit him. And so in doing so, then he just didn't complete the catch.
You know, with just a few passes that have not been there, but other than that, Kaysen Martin has been very accurate, Bryce.
I think so. 10 of 18 tonight, 93 yards so far. And again, just really being able to kind of manage the sidelines on either side.
Third down and 6. Greyhounds play action, receiver wide open, drop. And that one was going for a long ways right across the middle. It was a great play call. Greg Thomas dropped the ball. There is a penalty marker behind the line of scrimmage.
And that's where the quarterback was. So that one's your
personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 40. 50.
Cole Oster came through and got to the quarterback. Here's the replay. Yep, I think that's one. It wasn't the timing. It wasn't that it was late. It's that he got him up high a little bit after the release.
So Cole Oster's coming out, doesn't want to, as Braylon Sugg comes in for him. And so, again, just disappointed that. And it really was, to me, the quarterback faked the handoff,
Yeah.
pulled it back to throw it, and so in doing so, he still had the football when the contact was made. I'm not sure why that's a roughing the passer, because he still had it. It wasn't a half second when they made contact, but again, that's the call by the official.
Oh, it's only 2 penalties on the Buffs the entire game.
Yeah.
Both of them have been 15-yarders, though. It's 1st and 10 Greyhounds from the Buffs' 31-yard line. Play action, quarterback throws this one, heaves it into the end zone. It's picked off, intercepted by the Buffaloes, and bringing it back is Preston Stazuski. And Stazuski is tripped up at the 16-yard line. First time that you and I have seen Preston in several weeks.
Yeah, so that's great to see him back out there. And again, Preston playing center field like he does as a safety. And he just watched the ball fall into his hands. And you talk about a good momentum shift right there. That's just a great play. Watch Preston in this one. Here comes the throw from Martin. Preston's back there by himself. His receiver was in triple coverage.
Yeah.
And Preston, just the deep back, pulls that one out and returns it.
So that's one where we'd said Martin had been pretty accurate. That one needed to be thrown out of the back of the end zone. There was not much of a chance for his receiver, Bryze White, to haul that pass in. Buffs take over after the turnover. Complete pass on the outside. Hunter Kaufman makes the catch and is taken down. A good gain of about 7 or 8 yards there.
Cutner was stopped for about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah.
And then just kind of turned his body back toward the other direction and just kind of backed into the extra 3.
So now it sets up 2nd down and 3 here for the Buffs. Okoye, the running back, takes it. Huge hole. Okoye runs through a defender at the 35-yard line, down the sideline, out of bounds. Big 1st down, Buffaloes.
Yeah, nice run. He got there quickly, got to the outside, and then just took off and was able to keep going. And again, just a big open lane. Nice blocking on the far sideline. He was able to keep the feet churning.
Biggest run of the night for Brian Okoye. That'll help the yardage out. 1st and 10 Buffs, just short of midfield. Greyhounds bringing pressure. Gerber will throw, and that one thrown too high, out of bounds, incomplete. But the Greyhounds brought a lot of pressure there.
That's exactly what you want Nick Gerber to do. He had pressure on him, and so he wasn't going to complete the pass. So throw it away where nobody can catch it. He throws it to the far sideline.
Smart play by the senior quarterback. Again, look there at Nick Gerber. And the Buffs are going to miss his leadership. He has been doing it for the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, Areola, the backup quarterback, is also a senior, so it'll be somebody else next year that will take over the reins at that position. Gerber rolls to the right on 2nd down. On the run, perfect pass. Kaufman, 1st down, Buffaloes.
And again, Kaufman goes up in the zone. He finds a place. He turns around, shows his numbers to Nick Gerber as they start working tempo again, and makes a big 1st down catch.
So WT taking advantage of a forced turnover, the interception, and now they're on the move. Play action, Gerber throwing it down the sideline for Sweet, incomplete.
A lot of contact, no call though. Again, that was to the outside, or to the back shoulder for Sweet. He just couldn't get turned around in order to try to pull that in. Again, Nick Gerber throws it where only his guy is going to catch it.
Yep. Kaufman will come out, and Buckner will come in for the Buffaloes. Tyshawn Buckner. He's the wide receiver, split out to the bottom of your screen. Gerber keeps it and outruns the defensive player at the 30, 25. I just don't know how you defend that.
And that my question on that one was that a design run for Nick, or did he just decide to do it? Because he had made up his mind early. Once he got it, then he took off the opposite direction of the way the play was running. And so he just goes to the far sideline. Well, then, man, he didn't get a good spot because it looked like he was well past the yard marker.
Well, set up 3rd down and 1. Right at the 25-yard line. 1st down marker sets at the 24. Compton in at running back for the Buffs. Jared will get the carry. He's wrapped up.
And near side official gave him the 1st down. He's saying move the chains. And so now the far side official steps up. They still haven't moved anything. Now they're telling him to move the chains.
Okay, 1st down. It was a good tackle by the Greyhounds, but Jared did get enough to pick up the 1st down.
Again, it's forward progress. It got thrown back. But again, his forward progress was enough to pick up the 1st. Why is that important? Because it gives you so many different options.
Yep. Buffs lead it 7-3, 11:58 here in the third quarter from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. Gerber going for Noah Bogardus, and Noah's tackled in the end zone, so the flag is thrown.
Well, it was pretty obvious, and again, Noah sold it too, so that's a veteran player who sold it, and so the defender is not overly happy about it.
Yeah,
that is Adote.
Pass interference. Defense, number 24, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
I know Odenot got up really upset, but to me this was clearly the right call.
And you can see it right here. Here's the contact. Well, you really don't see it. It's before that. And so Noah, being a receiver, a veteran receiver, he feels the pressure. You fall down.
Sure.
And so that's how you draw the flag.
First down and goal from the 9-yard line. Gerber taking his time here. Play clock down to 8 seconds. Compton up the middle. Jared makes one move, and he's into the end zone. Stampede, baby. Touchdown.
You talk about vision for the senior, too, because that was designed to go a little bit to the right. He saw that it was stopped up, and so he goes to the left, a little juke move further to the left and gets into the end zone. Nice run by Jared Compton.
Well, he's done that a lot of times in his career for the Buffaloes. 6th rushing touchdown this season. And that extends West Texas A&M's lead up into double digits. It's 13-3. Extra point coming here from Urias. And Gage kicks this one right down the middle. Buffaloes force a turnover, get an interception from Preston Stazuski. It leads to the touchdown run from Jared Compton, which we'll see right here. Bryce, here's that vision you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, just looks at, there's a little reward. Slides to the left even a little further and gets in for the score.
So the Buffs lead at 14-3, 11:44 to play here in the third quarter. We're back after this timeout on the LSC Digital Network.
90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium, where the Buffaloes go on an 8-play drive, covers 84 yards, and a 12-yard Jared Compton run into the end zone pushes the Buff lead to 14-3 with the extra point. And again, just a great, you look at the players on the sideline.
Yep.
They're kind of relaxed now, get that extra score, and they feel pretty good about it. Wish I could dance like that.
Well, this is the second dance-off, so to speak, that I've had today, because on the volleyball broadcast today, we had one of those reviews, right, where it takes a little while, and both Texas A&M International and the Lady Buffs, they were going back and forth.
Dance competition.
Exactly.
Nice.
So it was like
makes it fun.
It was.
You know, and if nothing else, and I know people sometimes complain about it, these are student athletes. You want them to have fun.
Oh, yes.
And if they're out having fun, that's what makes everything worthwhile.
WT to kick off, and the Greyhounds last time on the kick return, it was a big one from Howard Russell. They kick it away from him, and it's Greg Thomas who takes it from the 8-yard line up to the 20, and then good job by the Buffaloes as the special teams comes up and makes a good stop there.
And I think they kicked it to the corner, so there was only one sideline he could run through. We'd like to recognize Lions Realty as a proud partner of WT Athletics. Give them a call at 806-358-3900. That's Lions Realty, official realtor of WT Athletic. Give Chris Lyons a call and say, hey, thanks for supporting the Buffs.
Well, Chris is the one, again, that does the T-shirt cannon.
Absolutely.
And every year it's gotten better. I think he's trying to get it where he can shoot it over the stadium out into the parking lot, Bryce.
So.
All right, on first down,
Wow,
there's a strong –
big run.
yeah, I'd be giving number 21, Keontae Stoker, a few more carries because every time he's touched the ball, he's running almost enraged. That's a 9-yard pickup for the senior from Longview, Texas.
And the thing that's interesting is he's not even really on the depth chart
No.
very highly rated. But, again, he's showing that I'm a senior too, but I could make some things happen.
He came into this game tonight with just 22 carries.
Yeah.
So tough running, and it's a good pickup, and it's second down and 2. He'll get it again. This time Xavier Rivera kind of plugs up the hole. It's enough to move the sticks. First down. Dylan Mata does a good job as well on that defensive line spot.
And so if you're Eastern, you're down 14-3, so you want to go back and do some things that you did well against UTPB last week. And so go back to those things that were working. And, again, they were in that contest. And the last, they lost by 3 points, but again, they felt very good coming out of that ball game.
Buffalo's just dominating on the ground, 198-78. This is about a 2-yard pickup over the left side.
And again, the Buffaloes just kind of gun everything up. X-Man was in on the last play. He's in on this play as well from the nose tackle position. And so really just does a nice job of just gumming up the middle.
We look at those defensive linemen out there, Bryce, all seniors. Dylan Mata, Xavier Rivera, and then Samote Samate. And they're doing a good job tonight against the Greyhounds offensive line. Second down and 8 for Kaysen Martin. Passing situation. Stands in the pocket. Catch is made across the middle. Wande, at the end the ball came loose, but they're going to say, I think they're going to say that it was forward progress. I mean, he was being held up, kind of going sideways, and about 2 or 3 Buffs had stopped him, and it's a first down.
Yeah, and he had one come from the blind side and knocking the ball away. And so that's why the officials say forward progress was stopped, and so they mark it up to the 46-yard line.
Asa Wande, his 9th catch. Been impressive tonight.
Yeah, he really has. Again, does a nice job. He's a dependable receiver.
Handoff over the left side. Russell tripped up by Oster and then finished off by Ajayi. That's, both young linebackers coming up and doing what you're supposed to do. Shed the blocker, disrupt the play, and then wrap up.
And that goes back to recruiting, too, because you've got those guys from years past that kind of set the bar, so to speak, and Chris Thomas and everybody else. And so you get those same kind of type character players. Yeah, they may be nervous when they're first out there, but now they've got some games behind them, and they're just stepping up and playing football.
You talked about Ajayi in the game he had last week, 8 tackles and a sack at Western New Mexico.
He flies around. It makes the big difference.
On second down, Martin fakes it to the running back, throws it, and this one's wide open at the 40, 30-yard line. A big play, big hit at the end of that one by Otworth. But that one's a first down completion to Tyree Cherry. And they blocked it perfectly, really faked the Buffs out.
They really did. And they had it set up on the near side. And so that was the weak side that time. And so they were able to get the pass completed. And Otworth does the right thing. He kind of takes the right angle and is able to knock him down. But not before they pick up a big first down inside the 30-yard line.
And again, if you're Eastern New Mexico, you're saying we've moved the ball in between the 20s so well, but we have 3 points. Martin will throw on first down. Nobody's open initially. He's going to run it to the right side, now throw it the last second. And that's a good play. He got his big tight end, Bryce White, down the side. Give a lot of credit to Martin for improvising.
So he does. He rolls out to the right side of the field. And so the Buff defender who's on the tight end has to break off and come up to try to make the stop. When he does that, then he just throws it over his head to his tight end. And he's able to get it close to the first down marker. Got nine yards on that play.
Running back is now Keontae Stoker. They rotated all 3 backs in. Stoker again.
Like a pinball, he just bounces off a tackler Oster, who was there to grab him, just bounced off of him and picks up the first down on a nice run up to the 15. Nice job to just keep the feet churning and move the pile forward.
Clock running, 7:15 to play here in the third quarter. Martin in the gun, pistol formation, handoff to Stoker. Again, they try the right side, and this time it's blown up. Dylan Mata sheds his blocker and does a good job stopping the play for just a gain of 1.
It was like he pushed him to the side, and then he had his arms open, just waiting for him to come and grabbed him up and took him down. Nice stop by Dylan, the senior.
Yeah, good speed, good quickness, and really good technique. And I think the thing that is hard to measure with Dylan Mata is his motor.
Right.
I mean, just a player that never stops.
This year's version of Dylan Mata, a little slimmed down, too. A lot quicker and just as strong, but again, just kind of slimmed down.
On second down, play action. Martin thought about running it, ran into Chris Thomas, and then he ran into Goo. And that is one where, you know, Martin, his first reaction is he wants to throw it.
Yeah.
That was one he needed to just run from the beginning. He started to run, then he wanted to pass and didn't have that much time. So the Buffs have made 2 good defensive plays in a row, and they have, again, bottled up Eastern New Mexico. The Greyhounds get inside the red zone, and it has been the dread zone tonight.
Yeah, it really has. And again, they get, like you say, they have a nice drive. Between the 20s, they've been great tonight. But they get inside the red zone, and then it just seems like the drive stifles for some reason. So we'll see what they do on this big 3rd down and 9.
They got to hurry. Play clock is at 3 seconds. They get it off. Martin slings it out to his running back, and the catch is made diving forward. Depends on where they spot the runner down. It was the running back, Tate.
I think he's going to be short of the first down.
Just barely. He dove and really sold out to try to pick up the first down. I don't think you can go field goal anymore here, Bryce. This has got to be, if you're Eastern New Mexico, bring everybody in and run your best power package play.
Yeah, you're down 11 points, 5:20 left to play here in the third quarter. You've got to go. Got the wind at your back, too. You definitely want to go for it here on 4th and 1.
Buffs have defensively Ashton Reynolds.
Now, one thing you got to tell everybody, make sure you get set. We're going to do it quick, but they can't have a procedure penalty.
Reynolds, Goo, and Jaden Jackson are in. And they walk up the linebackers, and now Coach, Ty Hyatt's going to take a timeout and talk this one over.
Timeout, Eastern. It's their first timeout of the half.
4:59 to play here in this
and it's
third
a media
quarter.
Timeout.
And the Buffs leading it 14-3. We'll step aside, take a timeout, be back with more football right after these messages.
Welcome to MetaDrive Pharmacy, Canyon's hometown pharmacy for over 32 years. We greet you by name, and our pharmacists take the time to counsel you and answer all your questions. Our Health Mart Pharmacy specializes in serving our community with fast, friendly, professional service and the highest quality medicines and health products. We accept most insurance plans, including Medicaid and Medicare, and we offer free in-town delivery to your home or business. Come visit us for all your healthcare needs.
Suddenlink is now Optimum, with award-winning internet, TV, and mobile, giving you the power to get closer and go farther with speed and reliability. With our new 100% fiber internet we're building, together with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction, you'll get the complete connectivity you deserve. And when you combine Optimum's award-winning connectivity with our 24/7 customer service, your future is only a connection away.
All right, welcome back. 14-3, our score at the half. And the battle balls going on out there. They're tied. And now they're going to take them off the field.
Well, this may be what this 4th and 2 is about to look like.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it looks like, a battle ball.
Eastern New Mexico on the WT 6-yard line, trailing 14-3. They've had a very impressive drive, but again, it stalled inside the red zone. The last play, a good one, they threw it out to the running back, Isaiah Tate, and he picked up 8.5 yards.
Yeah, he dove for it, just half a yard short of the first down. And so he gave everything he had to try to pick it up there.
Well, I like the running back that's in right now for Eastern. It's Keontae Stoker. He's been their power back.
And that's really, you give it to him and let him burrow forward.
Stoker over the right side, a good push, and he easily picks up that first down. He's down to nearly the 3-yard line. So give credit to Stoker and also the Greyhounds offensive line. That was a must pick up there.
Yeah, and they got it, and so they mark it down at the 4. He just got where he needed, and so, again, that'll be a 1st and goal to go from the 4.
Gives the Greyhounds a 1st and goal on the 4-yard line.
4:45 left here in the third quarter. Greyhounds looking for their first touchdown. High snap, fake it to Stoker. Quarterback keeps it, not going to get there. Buffs stop Martin short. As Ajayi and also Cole Oster, they've been in on a lot of stops tonight, both those linebackers.
Yeah, Dylan Mata plugs the hole too, so there wasn't a lot of running room. They picked up about a yard and a half, and so that'll bring up 2nd and goal to go. But again, that time instead of handing off, it was a quarterback keeper trying to go straight ahead. And the Buffs kept him in the cone, basically, kept him in the inside, and then were able to bottle him up.
So we keep looking at the LSC scoreboard, Bryce. UT Permian Basin leads Midwestern State 23-14 at halftime. All right, this run by Stoker. Oh, he did get in. Okay, Stoker is in.
He went off the left tackle that time, just burrowed underneath, got as low as he could get, and just kept driving the legs to get in for the score.
So touchdown Greyhounds. They run behind Sam Archie and Hunter St. John on that left side. And that is a big response there for Eastern New Mexico. They can get this extra point. They'll trail just by 4 points with still a lot of time to play, 3:49 in this third quarter. Good snap, extra point from Cooper Hamilton.
He barely made it. It was to the left, but he got it in.
All right, so the Greyhounds get the touchdown, and as we would expect in this rivalry, there's some jawing going on down there. Both teams getting a little fired up. We'll be back after this timeout. Buffaloes and Greyhounds in a close one here from Buffalo Stadium.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
Well, welcome back to the Bain Schaefer Stadium as we have the Buffs and Eastern in a 14-11 ball game with Eastern 14-10. Eastern able to score on a 14-play, 80-yard drive. They cap it off with Stoker's 2-yard run. And so they cut the lead to 14-10 as we get ready for the kickoff. We'll go down to Kent Johnson momentarily, but first here's the kickoff.
All right, Hamilton's going to push this one deep in through the back of the end zone.
All right, let's head down to the field. Kent Johnson standing by with former Buff player. Kent, take it away.
The Buffs take over for 17 and hold the 25-yard line.
Nope.
Okay, I guess we don't have Kent.
We'll go back in just a second with Kent.
All right, so the Buffs will take over. Nick Gerber in the shotgun. And Nick Gerber will snap this one, rolls out to his right.
Okay, Gerber's going to run it now. Needs a block, dives, and falls out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
So, again, nice run by Nick that time as he gets to the outside. Picks up 5 on the carry. Came to the near side, and so took a look at it, and then just decided to tuck the ball and run.
All right, Compton, the running back, to the right. And is stuffed right at the 30-yard line.
Coming up the safety to make the stop on that one. So that was Cameron Santa Cruz. So not much of a gain. Got maybe half a yard, so it'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Buffs.
Shaq Brown, the slot receiver. to the near side. Hunter Kaufman on the far side. Eastern, 4-man front. Going to hang back, not bring pressure. Throw on the outside, broken up. That was a beautiful play as the linebacker for the Greyhounds came through.
Timothy Jones did a nice job, came over and got there at the same time the ball did and knocked it away.
So, Bryce, a big stop there for Eastern. I mean, they get their first touchdown, cut the lead to 4, and again, we said that they were getting emotional, and that's the Greyhounds, they kind of feed off of that. The defense comes out and does the job.
Well, they really do, and the Buffs just didn't seem in rhythm that time offensively. And so, again, nice stop by Eastern.
Ollie Yart, the punt is blocked. Straight up in the air. Buffs are looking for it. It's going to die at about the 30-yard line, and that one was blocked. Number 40 for Eastern New Mexico came through, and that was Aseli Finau that blocks it. And look at the Greyhounds sideline.
Talk about emotion. They've got it going right now. And again, the Buffs seem stunned here at the moment, as now the defense has to really rally with a short field. They mark it at the 33-yard line. And that's where Eastern will take over at the Buffalo 33. And so here comes the offense. Case and Martin will bring them out as they get ready to go.
All right, now it's time for your defense to step up here if you're the Buffaloes. Case and Martin in this Eastern offense with a lot of confidence on first down. They'll hand it off. Russell started left, makes a good cut, spins, and picks up good yardage. Still on his feet across the 30 to the 29-yard line. And a Greyhound offensive lineman a little slow to get up.
So it kind of had a pancake block on that play. It was Christian Grego there, a center. And so kind of had a pancake block, and then he just kind of, there's like 4 of them, and it looked like
with a lot of
basically they were
first down,
all Russell just laying there as the play was continuing to go on.
Spins and picks up good yardage. They're going to come out and check on the injured player. And we'll step aside, take a quick timeout, be right back. Greyhounds with the ball, trailing by 4, but a lot of momentum on the side of the visitors from Portales. We're back after these messages on the LSC Digital Network.
Well, 2:19 left to play here in the third quarter. 14-10, Buffaloes with the lead.
That's a tough loss there for Eastern, Bryce. That's their center, Christian Griego.
Right. So Eastern, though, on a bit of a drive right now with the ball at the 30-yard line.
Pass on the outside, right on the money to Cherry. Ty Dillon with a sure tackle. It's going to be a couple yards short of the first down. Yeah, in at the center spot, they moved Brock Thetford over, and so he's going to play center.
And you really need somebody that's been out there and knows the calls, knows what the offensive line's supposed to do. So that's why you move your guard over there to kind of take over and then bring in a replacement for him.
Brandon Kaysen, a junior from Elk Grove, California. He comes in, wears number 75. He's the right guard now. Third down and 2 from the Buffs' 25-yard line with the Greyhounds down by 4 points. Bringing a blitz. Kobe King gets in there, initially disrupts the play, but what a run from Howard Russell. That could have been a loss of 2. Instead, it's a first down, Eastern New Mexico.
Yeah, King, you said he disrupted the play, but Russell just stayed true and basically kind of stepped to his left and back to the inside, planted his foot, and just pushed off with his right foot and picks up the first down, a big first down for Eastern New Mexico. 278 is what the Buffs have offensively, but Eastern's climbing. They're up to 256 right now. So just under what the Buffs are doing.
Running this clock down now to 1 minute left in the third quarter. Two receivers split out to the far side. Martin in the gun, hands it off. Russell gets around the edge. Great block by the tackle. I mean, moving people. Over on that far side was number 78, Sam Pietraszki.
And again, he's kind of undersized, but again, quick feet, gets to the outside, able to throw a block and make it happen. He's kind of limping around too a little bit.
In the trenches, I think it's
who's going to be standing is kind of what's going on. And again, it shows you how important it is to the players. They're just out there just gutting it out.
Yeah, this one, I mean, just being realistic, there's no playoff hopes on the line, championships to be had, but these two teams are playing like it is. Oh, my goodness, what a run from Keontae Stoker over the defender. It's 1st and goal, Eastern New Mexico at the 5. Looking like the Punisher out there.
Yeah, he was. And I mean, he went right at, you watch the replay here, he goes right there, the tackler, and takes him down. Ty Dillon got in the way, which is what you appreciate. But at the same time, he just bowled him over. So here we go, 1st and goal.
That's the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, when we come back, we're headed to the 4th quarter, and no surprise, a slobber knocker. A game out here at Buffalo Stadium, 14-10. WT will take the lead into the 4th quarter. We're back with more LSC football action right after this timeout.
One West is the comprehensive fundraising campaign designed to fuel WT 125 from the Panhandle to the world. We will strengthen WT's impact for the Panhandle region and beyond through a historic, comprehensive campaign raising $125 million by 2025. The campaign's 3 priorities: people, programs, and places. Now is the time to make a difference for current and future generations. One West.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. There's your score as we head to the 4th quarter, 14-10. And this game has gone back and forth. WT, as the lights are going out here, they're getting ready to jump around. And Coach Hughes is hoping that this will inject some little oomph into the team right now, because Bryce, even though the Greyhounds trail right now, they've got all the momentum.
Yeah, they absolutely do. They had a great drive. They got in the end zone, and now they have another great drive going. Again, they blocked a punt, and so got great field position. Went for it. They needed a 1st down. They got it, and so they are now 1st and goal to go inside the 10-yard line at the 7. So, again, it appears that Eastern is the one jumping around with the momentum.
But we started off in pregame, and we told you how even this series had been. And, you know, when we used to travel, Bryce, we make the trip to Eastern. In fact, you know, these two fan bases don't even really like each other. I remember our first trip to Portales, and I'm going to the restroom at halftime, and I'm getting some stares and some looks from Greyhound fans.
I remember. That's why I never went. And I just stayed out of the restroom because you don't know.
Yeah. So it's an intense rivalry. Both teams playing hard. And we head to the 4th quarter.
Please put 15 on the game clock. 15 minutes.
Oh, they haven't set the clock yet. They had 0 on the clock. So we get ready to start the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
And we'd like to thank MetaDrive Pharmacy for their support of our athletes. They at 23rd Street. MetaDrive can assist with all your pharmaceutical needs.
Stoker's the running back, set to the right. He'll take the carry over the left side. Tough running from Stoker.
Yeah, he just wants to run over people. So, again, that's his whole mantra right now. Give me the ball. I'm just going to run over people.
Feed the beast.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're WT, got to have somebody step up defensively here.
You just have to be careful with any wideout that goes out. And again, they've got isolation over on the far side of the field.
2nd down and goal from the 2.5. Quarterback keeps it. Martin inside, did not get there. The ball came free. The line judge is saying that the elbow was down. The ball hit the turf, and so he's down at the 1-yard line. But, yeah, you got to be careful. Eastern's going to hurry. They're going to run quickly here and go under center. Martin turns, fakes it, play action. What a call. Has a receiver, 2 receivers open. It's a touchdown, Greyhounds, as he throws it to Asa Wande. That was incredible. A great play call. Faked the Buffs out, and you had a receiver at the back of the end zone and a receiver at the front, both open.
Well, again, I'll go back to what I just said a moment ago. When they spread out like that, if you're out as you're a corner, you've got to watch who's going out to the outside, and you've got to man up, stay right on them. And again, the Buffs just gave them so much room, they got into the end zone.
Well, and why I was saying such a great play call, Bryce. They hurry up, they get the quarterback under center. So what are you thinking? Quarterback sneak.
Right.
Here's the extra point to try to make it a 3-point game. It's up, it's good. Cooper Hamilton knocks through the extra point, and it's Eastern New Mexico leading 17-14 with 14:06. Here's this last play. Beautiful play action. Quarterback wide open.
Nobody on the receiver. He's wide open.
Asa Wande with the touchdown. So we'll take a timeout, come back with the Buffs trailing by a field goal. A lot of time left here in the fourth quarter.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium.
That was an 8-play, 33 yards. Again, block punt started that. 8-play, 33 yards, and then that 1-yard pass to Asa Wande. The extra point is good, and Eastern regains the lead.
Well, and you go back and you talk about plays that make a big difference. It was a punt block from Aceli Finau that led Eastern New Mexico to have that great drive. Here's Hunter Kaufman on a kick return. Needs a block. Just tripped up short of the 20. What a great special teams tackle by number 15, Tafari Gamillion. Or Kaufman had some blockers out there, right?
He did, but he had him on the inside. Look, as we watch this one again, he had him on the in to he was starting to go to the outside, and he just needed to cut it up to the inside right there.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't get Max to, come up with a block. He just had to keep going.
Kind of set up your block.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Buffs first and 10 from their own 19-yard line. Gerber in the gun on first down. Handoff to Okoye, stretch play, and for no gain. Eastern stops the play at the line of scrimmage. Ever since, Bryce, the Greyhounds were able to score that initial touchdown,
right,
things shifted and the defense started playing harder.
Yeah, their defense played harder. They had a block punt. They were able to turn that into a touchdown to take the lead, 17-14.
On second down, Gerber will roll out. Eyes downfield. The throw. What a catch. That one's from Noah Bogardus. Had to go high in the air, just basically give up his body, and was able to hang on.
And that shows you how much Nick Gerber just trusts Noah Bogardus. Watch him. He throws it over the defender. He had to get it over the defender.
That's a great throw.
Right to Noah, and he pulls that one in.
Big catch from Bogardus. Those two have hooked up a lot over the last 2 seasons. Play action. Gerber across the middle. Catch made by Chris Sims. And a flag is thrown.
That's going to be a holding penalty. So that's going to come back.
Eastern is pointing that it's against the Buffs. It was a gain of 11 to Chris Sims.
Well, he's saying an ineligible receiver downfield.
Okay.
That was so quick. It was bang, bang. I don't even know how a receiver.
Ineligible player downfield. Number 66, offense. 5-yard penalty.
I still have nightmares, Bryce, about ineligible man downfield a few seasons ago in the Angelo State game here. A tough call. Those are sometimes just so right there at the line. Yeah. But the call was made. The penalty against the Buffs backs the football up to the 29.
Patrick Gray was up too far, but again, it was such a bang-bang play. I don't know how Patrick got that far up the field.
Maybe Patrick needs to be playing in the backfield. Right? He's that fast. He's Patrick fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Gerber throws to the outside, a rifle complete, and then Tyler Sweet tried to make something and picked up yardage up to the 35-yard line.
Back the yardage they lost on the penalty.
Pickup of 6.
So got 6 on the pass play. Makes it 2nd and 9. Again, the Buffs trying to get a little tempo.
Yeah, they're going with the pass game here. Gerber sets his feet, throws way too high. It's picked off, intercepted by Meander at the 50-yard line, and he's trying to bring it back. Meander will fall down at the 41-yard line. An interception by the Greyhounds. That's the second one they've gotten tonight against Gerber. And now Eastern has the football with 12:17 to play in the fourth quarter, and they have the lead. Here's the throw.
You see it. He just throws into double coverage and sails his intended target way over to where Meander comes away with it.
Well,
and then comes up with the INT.
And you know, Zarian most likely has a lot of family that are watching this game
I'm
tonight.
Sure, they're probably here.
As he a local player, again out of Randall High School. And this is where, if you're the Buffaloes, you have got to tighten up the defense. Find a way to stop these Greyhounds on first down. Handoff, Russell over the left side. Xavier Rivera comes up and makes the tackle. But the difference, Bryce, at the beginning of the game, the Buffs were getting that defensive push. Now Eastern is 3-4 yards down the field before they're touched.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the running game has really picked up considerably for them. They have 122 yards rushing on the Buffs have 204 yards, but Eastern's rushing game has picked up so much. And that's really what made the difference. And you're absolutely right. 3-4 yards when they carry the ball.
I'll tell you one thing they've done also is Eastern has had a really good game plan on blocking Chris Thomas.
Yeah.
We have not mentioned his name a lot tonight in terms of tackling.
Right.
And that's not an easy task. Russell takes it. There's Chris Thomas almost making the tackle, but Russell reverses his field, making moves at the 30-yard line. That is the second time that Eastern running backs have had incredible runs.
Yeah, and again, that's just the individual performance because he was supposed to go to the left. They went to the left.
And there was Chris Thomas.
And so he reverses field, got a block, able to come back and turn it into something.
You know, you go back to, Bryce, I hate to say this, but at halftime, what Coach Hughes said to Kent Johnson, he said, look, they're just playing harder than we are right now.
Yeah, we're not playing like we want to play here tonight. And right now, this second half, they have found a switch to flip on.
Greyhounds running some clock. Play clock's down to 7 seconds. See if they're going to have to take a timeout.
Yeah, they are. He's going right up to the official and calls a timeout.
Okay, they'll take it with just 1 second left. Let's keep it here. 10:56 to play in the fourth quarter. Still a lot of time.
Timeout.
Eastern New Mexico.
You know, that's funny you say that because it feels like the game's about to slip away. And again, if they get another nice drive, they're up 3. And so, again, they can push the lead to 10. And in this kind of atmosphere, that makes this one tough. Hey, we like to recognize Mickey's Place. That is a proud sponsor of WT Athletics, located on the Square and Canyon. Mickey's Place provides a modern twist on traditional Italian cuisine, along with non-Italian favorites. Also, Rayburn Reynolds has proudly served the Emerald area for 30 years. WT Athletics would like to recognize Rayburn Reynolds for their continued support of our athletics. And WT Athletics would like to thank Texas Farm Bureau Insurance for their continued support. Texas Farm Bureau members receive free tickets to all WT home sporting events. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of the Buffaloes. Of course, you see them in the upper corner here as they are the game sponsor for this one. And the Buffs now trailing 17-14 with 10 minutes, 56 seconds, just under 11 minutes left to play. But just... you'd like to see a little more oomph from the Buffaloes in this one tonight.
Well, you'd also love to see another one of our keys in the pregame, Bryce, was forcing turnovers. Eastern and WT both have struggled turning the ball over throughout the season, but tonight it's been Eastern that's been able to turn over the Buffs more than the Buffs have.
2 interceptions on WT to 1 for 1 turnover for
and a block
Eastern.
punt.
Yeah, and then the block punt too. You had that in there. Other action going on in the Lone Star Conference. UT Permian Basin leading Western New Mexico 37-14 in the third.
Now look at Kingsville.
Central Washington's leading Angelo 12-7. Kingsville and Midwestern are tied at 20 apiece. So that's some of the other action going on. Simon Frazier lost earlier today.
Here's a handoff up the middle for just a couple. That one went to the power back, Keontae Stoker, and the Buffs do a much better job stopping him.
And this is where the Buffs, that's what they need to do. They need to plant their cleats in the turf and not allow any kind of movement. They've got to force them back.
That's where you go back to the preseason drills with the sled, right?
Absolutely. That's exactly it. So clock continues to run. 2nd down and 9 for Eastern New Mexico.
Look at how far the receivers are split out here on each side.
Yep.
Game clock running. Quick throw to the outside. Catch made, and then slipping, falling forward to the 25, maybe the 24-yard line. That catch made by number 4, D'Angelo Biggs.
So they had 2 over on that side, but there was only one Buffalo defender. The safety was 15 yards back. And so all they do is you pick up the one man, he throws a bit of a block, and the second back is the second receiver is who you throw it to, and then he turns it upfield. And so that can sometimes obviously be a big game.
All right, here's a money down. 3rd and 6 for Eastern from the Buffs' 24-yard line, leading by a field goal. Greyhounds tonight on 3rd downs, 4 for 9. Movement, both sides pointing at each other.
See what the official, the one who didn't call anything, is
false
the
start.
flag.
Number 77 offense.
Okay, so movement against Eastern.
And it's 3rd down.
And so here, if you're the Greyhounds, Bryce, again, I'm looking at Asa Wande trying to get the ball in his hands, number 11. He's been your guy tonight.
He is the go-to guy for sure.
9 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
And so really, that's if you're the Buffs defense, wherever he goes, you bring somebody up and man on man. Basically, that's what you want. You don't want to give him a cushion.
The penalty makes it 3rd and 11.
So Wandy all by himself out on the far side of the field.
Pass thrown on the outside, a perfect throw. Wande made the catch, but I think he's short of the marker by a yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, almost 2 yards. And so, again, confidence that they have right now with what they're doing, they're probably just going to run the football.
Well, this is the same side of the field that Cooper Hamilton missed a field goal in the first half.
And so you bring up Stoker. Once again, you're going to let him. He's just going to try to power it either to the right or the left side, bring in another tight end as well.
Play clock running, 15 seconds, 4th down and 2 for Eastern New Mexico. Ball on the WT 20-yard line. And a timeout. Eastern, it felt like they were running out of time, and they could not afford, obviously, a delay of game. So they take their second penalty, or their second timeout of the half.
Timeout at the 30-second timeout.
So 8:36 left to play. And so the question now is, does that come back to play later on in the game? But right now, they're doing the right things. They want to make sure they control this possession.
Yeah, a lot depends
This is
on,
a big possession.
It's a huge 4th down play coming up for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And so we'll see. Hey, we'd like to thank Amarillo National Bank for their support of WT Athletics. Amarillo National Bank, locally owned, family strong, and here to stay. The Canyon Chamber of Commerce is a proud partner of WT Athletics. Canyon Chamber works with local businesses to provide economic growth for the city of Canyon. Thank you for your continued support of WT Athletics.
So that last catch for Asa Wande, his 10th of the game, 10 catches and a touchdown. Other player to look to, even on this short yardage, is the tight end Bryce White, number 89. He's set to the right. They have 2 tight ends in right now.
So they have Wande one-on-one out here on the near side against the freshman.
It's a run right up the middle. Eastern with that push, I think.
Yeah, I think they got it.
I think they got the first down.
This side official is coming. He's not as far up as the other side official.
Buffs are saying they may have stopped Eastern. This all depends on the spot.
And the Buffs say they got it. It was the near side official that marked that one. Let's see if they measure this.
The line judge is saying that we may have a measurement.
So
I'd like to see, I don't know if we have the replay, I'd like to see it again, because initially it looked like the running back was either right at the line of scrimmage or, just barely across. But you're right, Bryce. Here it is. Here's the replay. Needed to get to the 18-yard line. Does he ever get to the 18?
And right there, it looks like he does, but they push him back. And it was the near side official who made the mark. So they have it at the 19-yard line.
I think he's going to be short.
Yeah,
it's going to be a stop.
Almost a yard short.
It is.
So the Buffaloes will take over.
Big stop for the Buffs. You'll take it.
Yeah, we'll definitely take it. Yes. Because again, we saw in the replay, it looked like he probably got it, but nevertheless, they don't have replay in D2, and so the Buffs will benefit. And we'll take over, bring the offense out, and see if they can get a drive going with 8:35 left to play.
Well, great stop by the WT defense, nonetheless. And
that was the guy you go to, too. I mean,
yes, that's the right call.
He is a good, hard running back.
Buffs bring Gerber on the field here in the gun with Isaiah Smallwood, the running back. And Smallwood takes it. Good block. The hole opens up. Smallwood runs through tacklers. He's got about 8 yards there before he stopped in the Eastern secondary.
Nice run by Isaiah. Credit the left side of the line, too. They really opened up a big hole. You watch right here. So Adam Acorda.
And Zach Dietrich as well.
They just opened up a big opening for Isaiah to run through.
And they actually spotted it up. It's first down. Smallwood runs again, runs over a defender. Good push from this Buff offensive line. I think that was the message for the offense coming in is, guys, get low. We're going to run the ball.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. They feel right now this half they've had a good running game, and so let's just keep pushing it, pushing the pile forward, and keep moving it forward.
Clock running under 8 minutes. And now you look at the timeout situation. Eastern out of timeouts. Buffs still have all 3.
Right.
On second down and long, play action. Gerber rolling out, throws on the run, incomplete, and step for step with Noah Bogardus. Excellent coverage by Caden Ochoa. And the other thing, too, Bryce, on that play is there was a spy with Nick Gerber. They weren't going to let him get outside the pocket and pick up the first down.
Yeah, that's one thing they've learned from the first half is they're not going to let the quarterback take off and get to the outside. So they had somebody that was watching him and was with him as step for step as much as he could. It was a defensive lineman. Not quite as quick, but he stayed with him.
So it's third down and 6. Look how spread out Eastern New Mexico is defensively. Gerber looking, throws incomplete, threw it over the intended receiver, Smallwood. And, I talked about Eastern being spread out. They just went zone. They sat back and really just tried to make it difficult for the Buffs to go deep.
And again, I'll go back. They were running and having success, and they went away from that, went with 2 passes. And again, credit their coverage. They had good coverage on whatever WT was trying to do in the passing game.
So the Buffs will bring the punt team on the field. We have seen a fake already tonight. Don't know if we will in this situation.
I don't think so, not in this one.
Ollie Yart takes the snap and hits this one away from the return man down the far sideline. It's going to take a good Buffalo bounce inside the 15 all the way down to the 10-yard line. Great punt from Ollie Yart. And so now both sides, Bryce, first for the Buffaloes, you got to say defense, get out there and get another stop. Eastern, if you're head coach Ty Hyatt, you're looking at your team right now and say, fellas, we're up by 3. If we can get a drive, regardless of whether you score, but if we can pick up first downs.
Timeout, media.
You guys have a chance to come in here and beat the Buffs on their home field.
And again, they haven't played well in the conference, but they had a good game last week, and so they're trying to carry it for 2 weeks in a row.
All right, we'll take a timeout, come back with Eastern taking over. Still a lot of time left in this fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium, where Eastern leads 17-14, 7:30 left to play. Eastern will have it at the Greyhounds' 10-yard line. Angelo State has fought their way back to take the lead at the end of the third quarter. They lead now 15-12. Kingsville leads Midwestern 27-20. And UTPB 37-14 over Western New Mexico.
All right, Kason Martin on first down. Play action. Throw to the outside. Caught. It's Wande, and he is taken, held up by Ty Dillon. It's been a really good battle all night between those two players. And Wande with the reception. It's about 5-6 yards on first down there.
Again, he's just sure-handed and pulls that one in. Even though he had coverage on him, he was able to pick that up for that 5-yard gain.
Greyhounds going to work this play clock down. Take the snap at 10 seconds. Hand off over the left side for about 3 yards up to the 18-yard line. Tate with the carry.
So 3rd down and 2 makes it manageable. You can either throw or you can run it. Feel confident. They probably want to run it because they want the clock to continue to run.
6:30 to play, fourth quarter, Eastern New Mexico and West Texas A&M. This back and forth series for the Wagon Wheel, which sits over right behind the Greyhounds. Offense where they're moving left to right. Over in the north end zone, behind the end zone. Snap back to Martin, throw on the outside. Wande catches it at the 25, stays in bounds. Buffs are lucky that he didn't escape there and race down the sidelines. He was just tripped up, but what a great job of walking the tightrope.
The crazy thing about it is that quarterbacks really only look for one player all night long. And so, again, you would think that you would have somebody playing up on him.
It's too much of a cushion, Bryce.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think you'd have somebody playing up on him, not to allow that to happen. If he beats you with speed, okay, but again.
Well, now if I'm Coach Ty Hyatt, I'm telling Martin, you don't take the snap till about 3 seconds left on this play clock.
And then you just run the ball right now.
They snap it with 9, handoff over the right side. Tate, nowhere to go. And he's actually thrown in the backfield, a loss of 2.
Sam Hampton comes up and makes the stop. Nice job to get in the backfield and come up with a good defensive push. Again, we're calling names we haven't called this season. Sam Hampton coming up.
He's a sophomore from Katy.
Yeah.
And again, some of these linebackers not real big. Hampton's only 195 pounds. Ajayi's 205, but they're really fast. They fly to the ball.
Yeah.
2nd down and 12 for the Greyhounds. Martin with both those tight ends. They shift from right to left. And it's a handoff. Russell over the left side, waiting for a hole to open up. Not much. He's going to gain a decent yardage up to the 38.
Yeah, about 3. So it makes it 3rd down and long.
Russell getting frustrated and tempers flaring down here. And the officials need to get everybody separated. Russell felt like he was being held up after he had ran the ball. He comes off limping a little bit.
Play clock's running.
Yeah, it is.
Now they reset it.
It's a 3rd down and a long 7 yards here. You think the Greyhounds may try to look to number 11, Asa Wande?
I would find out where he's at, and I'd put a body on him. Again, he gets a 10-yard cushion.
2 seconds. They get it back to the quarterback. Martin dumps it off underneath. Catch made by the running back Tate for a gain to the 42-yard line. 4th down and 4.
Sam Hampton once again comes up, makes the stop. Read it perfectly, stayed with who he needed to.
So they'll have to punt it back. They'll use all of this play clock, which is running at 24 seconds right now. Game clock is down to 3:34. And the big punter, David Sweet, comes on the field and punts away to the much smaller Tyler Sweet, who stands on his own 25-yard line. This may be, let's see if they snap it.
Yeah, they may take it down and take the delay. And they will.
Okay. Now, is that what Coach Hyatt wanted to do? I was trying to see the
delay
reaction.
game.
I think they were fine
Offense,
with that.
5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Yeah, I think they just want to use as much clock as they could.
Well, you got
take the penalty.
You got to remember, though, the Buffs, even though Urias has missed one field goal, he's also made a lot of field goals this year. He's got the win behind him, and so that's really all you need to maybe send this game into overtime is 3 points for the Buffs. So huge special teams play coming up right here. And look at the WT. They're coming after this punt. Good snap. Sweet. Kicks it. It hits at the 30 and takes a WT bounce the opposite direction. So another chance here for Nick Gerber and the Buffalo offense.
Yeah, so this is an opportunity for them to come out with 3 minutes, 4 seconds left to play. And again, they've got to get a drive going. And whatever it is they had in that drive before the end of the first half, that's what they need to come back out with. Trailing 17-14, 3:04 left to play in the ballgame.
On first down, Gerber, quick throw, and it's caught. Great break on the ball, and so a really good tackle for Eastern New Mexico. Immediately coming up to make the stop was Lino Odenot. Catch was made by Sweet.
You know, that's the difference. They're not playing as far off of our receivers, and so they can react and recover quickly.
Gain of 4 yards. Clock running, 2:40 to play in the ball game. Buffs trail by a field goal. Gerber takes his drop, going to scramble out to the left, throw on the run. Kaufman's open down the field, makes the catch at the 31-yard line. First down, Buffs. What a throw from Gerber, rolling to his left.
And Gerber, that's what happens when he rolls out there. That breaks down the defensive coverage, and that receiver kind of broke for a moment, put the brakes on, and that's how Kaufman able to get around him.
WT hurries up to the line, falls at the 30-yard line. Handoff, nope, they fake it to Jared Compton. Play action, throw to Bogardus. And it was broken up at the last second.
That's one where you'd like just a little more zip on the pass. That one just kind of arced up there, and you would like the quarterback just to throw a little harder because he had a step on the defender. He had the inside route, and so just zip it to him. And so, again, 2:20 left to play, plenty of time. Buffs with all 3 timeouts.
And if you think about it, they're technically already in Urias' field goal range. You'd like to get as close as possible if you don't get a touchdown. Buffs trailing by 3. They'll run it with Compton over the left side, and Jared swallowed up at the 30-yard line. Big tackle coming across the line was Rapi Satoa.
Yeah, he just really slid down the line quickly and was able to wrap him up. And so, again, clock continues to run. We're at the 2-minute mark.
It's like Compton was running, and then he evaporated. Like, where'd he go?
It's got swallowed up.
Third down and long, and movement. Is this offside?
Yeah, it's a free play.
Gerber will chunk this ball to the end zone, and it's incomplete, broken up. And so now you assume that this is going to be offsides.
Yeah, they're showing offsides against them, so
that one
mark it off.
Big penalty there for the Greyhounds, and it's going to make
offside.
It 3rd and 4.
Number 54, the defense, the 5-yard penalty, and it's still 3rd down.
1 minute, 45 seconds left.
Again, credit the Eastern secondary because even though it was a free play, they had good coverage on everybody. And really all Nick could do is try to throw it to a spot.
A lot of receivers out here on this 3rd down and 4. Gerber keeps it, runs for the first down. Gets outside. He was being chased down by Justin Brewer. And that was just one that Nick Gerber willed to the first down.
Yeah, and again, that's the senior leadership. That's the veteran player. He decided to keep it himself and just took off and knew where he needed to get. Picks up the first down for the Buffs.
Clock did stop. 1:45 left. Okoye, the running back, set to the left. Eastern going to bring some pressure. Gerber fakes it, throws it. Bogardus makes the catch, breaks the tackle. Noah, he's in. Touchdown, Buffaloes.
Wow, that's good individual effort, too. And again, it was set up by the fake. There's an RPO, basically, and so Gerber fakes the handoff and then pulls it back. Looks to the near side, finds Noah Bogardus. Bogardus had one guy to beat, kind of bounced off of him and fell in the end zone for the score.
Determination by two seniors on this touchdown. Look at this.
And again, just a nice job. Fakes it right there, finds Noah, then boom, bounces off of him, and then takes it in the end zone.
Extra point here from Urias. Try to make this a 4-point game. And he does. And that was a huge extra point because now Eastern New Mexico, they've got to go score a touchdown. And they don't have any timeouts left. There's 1 minute and 39 seconds left. We told you this was going to be a good one, right, Bryce?
Yeah, absolutely right. 21-17, the Buffaloes able to get in the end zone.
All right, we're back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
10, WT and the Department of Agricultural Sciences has provided high-quality education to the students of the Panhandle and beyond.
At WT, professors know me and are committed to my success.
If you want to get an ag industry job, WT is where you need to be.
I don't want just a job and a paycheck after graduation. I want a career where I can make a difference. WT invested in my career. I intend to pay it forward.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium with the crowd being re-electrified as the Buffaloes able to get in the end zone. 8-yard pass to Noah Bogardus. He takes it in for the score. And the Buffs able to regain the lead with 1:39 left to play. They lead at 21-17. Eastern New Mexico has 1:39 to get up the field. They have no timeouts left.
Yeah.
Well, so, again, here's the first step. You've got to be able to make a stop here on the special teams.
Need a booming kickoff from Urias if you're WT because they have two good return men back, Greg Thomas and Howard Russell. And that's exactly what Gage does, puts it over the head of Greg Thomas. And again, a lot of talking.
Yeah, that's the one thing, the coaching staff, you got to tell everybody, hey, 1:39 left to play. Let's just keep our composure,
Sure.
just stay out there and make the, no matter what they say, let's just make sure that we come out there and play.
It's going to be interesting to see how WT defends Eastern, knowing they've got to throw the football. They've got to get 75 yards down the field. They've had that big cushion, though, with the receivers throughout, so you can't just let them go 7-8 yards down the field, even though there's only 1:39 left.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And expect to see a lot of number 11 right here.
Kaysen Martin takes the snap. In trouble. Throws on the run, and it's dropped. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Tyree Cherry. Buffs defended that play very well.
Well, Ty Dillon was step for step with who I thought Wande was the intended target. He just stayed with it. He was on a fly route, and so that wasn't there. So, again, the quarterback comes to the near side and finds his relief valve, and unfortunately just can't come up with a catch.
And a couple drops tonight from Cherry. Not much time runs off, just 6 seconds. 1:33 left. Second down and 10. This throw up for grabs it was through Ty Dillon's hands and then through the receiver's hands, Biggs.
Really, that was a lucky break for the Buffs because Ty went for the interception. And again, that just went through the hands of D'Angelo Biggs. That does bring up a third down and 10.
Crowd making a lot of noise. They know what's at stake. A wagon wheel awaits. And a third down and 10 for the Greyhounds from their own 25-yard line. Buffs walk the outside linebacker up.
Find number 11.
This throw on the outside, beautiful catch. Depends on where they spot it. Wande slid in.
They're going to give him the first down.
They
got
do.
It right at the yard marker.
So a huge catch and a pickup. Greyhounds have got to hurry. Clock runs again, 1:17. Kaysen Martin signaling out the play. Going to step up and throw on the outside. Wande, another catch, and he's short of the first down by 1 yard. 1:04, 1:03, clock running. Eastern second down and 1 from its own 44-yard line. 52 seconds. Martin throws opposite side, and it's a huge hit from Ty Dillon as Biggs had the ball But I don't even know if you can call that a drop. That was just a great hit.
He just got lit up on that one. Credit Ty Dillon as he just comes up and just used every ounce of body fat he has, which is none. And he sits drive on the ball and knock it away.
It does stop the clock with 47 seconds. And 3rd down and 1 coming for Kaysen Martin in the Greyhounds offense. The running back, Isaiah Tate. And he'll take the carry. Tate breaks 1 tackle, has a first down across midfield to the Buffs' 49-yard line. Pretty good play call there. It looked like WT was not expecting the run.
No, they weren't. And again, you got to pick up the first down to keep moving the chains. And so they do. Stops it with 39 seconds left.
Greyhounds have got to hurry. Martin takes the snap with 35 seconds. Throw and a catch.
He was out of bounds. Now, he stepped out of bounds.
The line judge is saying it's a catch.
He's coming up and saying, no, he stepped out of bounds.
The field judge came from behind and said that right foot was out of bounds.
As he did. He stepped out.
Okay.
And thankfully, they got together and they agreed. And so that'll make it 2nd down. Bucks get a chance to change, especially rushers on that front line.
Yeah, we've had some interesting calls, but that one, to give credit to the officials,
that
Bryce.
was right.
That was one guy was watching one thing, the other guy saw the foot.
And they got together and made the right call.
29 seconds left. Eastern down by 4 points. Out of timeouts. 2nd down and 10. 3 receivers out to the far side. Wande to the near side. And he makes the catch, stays in bounds, and then is taken out after picking up a first down. So the clock will stop with 23 seconds left.
So that's where Quentin Evans tried to break on the ball.
Yep.
And again, you want to get there and you want to make a big play, but at the same time, you got to make sure you keep Wande in front of you.
If you're Eastern, anything that's not on the perimeter, if you make a completion down the middle, you've got to race up to the line and spike it quickly because, again, you're out of timeouts. Wande had to catch a breather. He's not on the field right now. Quarterback looking in trouble, escapes, heaves it down the field, got a receiver open, and it's caught. Cherry catches it, got behind the Buffs defense, and just scored with 14 seconds left. What an unbelievable throw by Kaysen Martin, Bryce, because he felt the pressure, stepped up in the pocket.
Absolutely.
And his eyes never left down the field.
Right, he saw what his receiver was doing, and so the Buffs, I don't know what happened in the secondary. We'll watch here. But again, he steps up here and just unloads it. And, yeah, the Buffs just got beat on that one.
Well, and give credit to Tyree Cherry because he's had a couple of drops tonight. And that ball, I mean, the game's on the line. You got to haul that in, and he did. He made the biggest catch probably of his life right there. And Eastern has a 23-21 lead. And you can hear a pin drop right now at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium.
Well, they don't have timeouts, and so the play clock's down to 10. And so they're, I guess, going to take the penalty and move it back as they kick this one away. And so they're not worried, obviously not worried about the extra point.
See if we can run that replay back one more time if you have it, Jacob.
Penalty is still in the try.
Just want to look at the secondary and just see.
So they'll move this back on a 5-yard penalty.
Okay.
And get set to re-kick.
Well, now if you're Eastern, we'll wait. We'll try to see if we can get the replay after the kick. If you're Eastern, you better block this extra point because remember, if you block it, WT can run it back.
Yeah, they can pick it up and take off.
So here comes the kick from Cooper Hamilton. Snap was high. Hold was down, though, and the extra point is
good.
Yeah, it is good. So it's a 3-point lead. We'll stay here, see if we could dial up that replay just one more time. It's 24-21. Here is your play of the game from the Greyhounds. Incredible throw from Hamilton. And again, Dillon just got caught looking back inside maybe a little bit.
He was watching the quarterback and wasn't watching the receiver. And again, Eastern able to get beyond the defense. And credit the quarterback, Kaysen Martin, with keeping his eyes upfield. He's able to make that catch.
Well, you look at Martin's stats, Bryce, tonight, 25 of 38 passing, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And he has done a tremendous job. We keep talking about Asa Wande, 15 catches for $147.
And he wasn't even on the field for that play.
Yeah.
And so, again, they took him off for a breather. And so you got the guy that needed to step up, and indeed did, as Cherry picks that one up and gets a touchdown.
Okay, here's where you need the special teams play. Okay, for the Buffs, Chris Sims back, Hunter Kaufman back. They have 3 timeouts left, the Buffs do, but just 14 seconds.
Yeah, not much of the clock to work with here. Credit Eastern for running it, taking that last 139 and running it down to 14.
Kick angled to the far side, and it goes out of bounds. So the flag will come there. They'll mark the football up, and
really, I'm not too sure that wasn't designed to do that, because
you just didn't want to take a chance.
Don't allow them to return it, kick it out of bounds. We'll take the penalty, get the defense out there. They've only got 14. They even took a second off the clock. I'm not sure why they did that, but it should be 14 seconds on the clock.
Kick out of bounds, kicking team. Ball be placed at the 35. First down.
And then they reset the clock for 14.
So now Eastern has to come out, and they've got to go to prevent defense and not allow anything behind them.
Well, they were set up for prevent right now.
Yeah, 3 defensive backs about 25 yards deep. Gerber will throw it across the middle, tipped and incomplete, and he had pressure in his face. As Eastern, they didn't blitz. They just, that defensive line.
They just had a push.
Came through.
Yeah, they were pushing back on him.
10 seconds left. It's second down. And you're about to have a mad dash for a wheel. And unless the Buffs can come up with a miracle here, it's going to be Eastern New Mexico that's going to go claim that thing. Gerber will throw it to the outside. Compton makes the catch and is hit hard. Out of bounds. 5 seconds left. You're down to 1 play.
So they'll send everybody back to the 15-yard line.
What was it, the Tennessee Titans, Bryce, that did the play? You throw it around about 7 or 8 times.
The Buffs can take a timeout.
And this is a good timeout here by WT. I mean, you got to talk about what you're going to do here on this last play for a desperation attempt.
It's a 30-second timeout.
And just what a game of ups and downs.
And sadly, you can see, I mean, players with their hands down, they're defeated already. And again, I understand that with 5 seconds left, but, you really only have to get in field goal range to at least attempt. And so the last 2 plays, they really didn't get much, and so there wasn't really much for them to pick up. Credit Eastern's with the defense there.
Well, and as hard as it is for a hometown broadcaster to do, Bryce, especially in this rivalry, let's give head coach Ty Hyatt and the Greyhounds a lot of credit. They're 2-7. They've only won 1 conference game.
Right.
It's late in the season. They've come in here tonight, and they have really played with a lot of effort.
And I think that was the speech that they had. Again, this is a rivalry game. This is a recruiting game. Again, this is how they recruit. And so they put a lot of oomph on, what this game can do for their program.
3 receivers are stacked at the bottom of your screen. Gerber in the gun. See where they go. To Compton at the 40. Jared at the 50. He'll throw it backwards to an offensive lineman. And tackled it. And Eastern New Mexico has won the Wagon Wheel as they make their way to claim the prize. They've come to Canyon and defeated the Buffs 24-21. And they have stunned this home crowd as it just happened late. Eastern had 1:39 on the clock with no timeouts left as WT had taken the lead 21-17. And they didn't flinch. They marched right down the field. Quarterback Kaysen Martin hooked up with Tyree Cherry for what ended up being the game-winning touchdown pass and catch. And Eastern New Mexico has improved its record to 3-7, 2-6 in Lone Star Conference play. And the Buffaloes will fall to 5-5, 3-5 in LSC play.
Sadly, you look down on the bench, and Ty Dillon is being consoled. Chris Thomas is sitting next to him. And so I'm sure he feels like he let his club down because he got beat on that play. But again, your second nature tells you to watch to see what the quarterback's doing. And so, again, he just saw that one kind of, get behind him and go in for a touchdown.
Well, there's the Greyhounds, and Bryce, it takes about 4 or 5 guys. That wheel, is
huge.
really, really heavy, and it's going back to Portales tonight as the Greyhounds get the victory.
Unfortunately, you like to see a little more sportsmanship than what is now being displayed, and so sadly for what's taking place, but nevertheless, big win. Credit Eastern, like you said, they came back and they did what they needed to do to come away with the win as they take this one by a final of 24-21.
All right, we will take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll have the post-game show for you here up top from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. Buffs fall to Eastern tonight, 24-21.
You know that egg producers don't quit at 5 p.m. We don't quit until the job's done either. Bankers' hours don't apply at First United Bank because we believe ag lending isn't a 9-to-5 job. While you're out working the fields or managing the herd, we're making sure your money is working too. Whether it's for livestock, land, or equipment, we're one of the most dominant ag lenders in the state and have been burning the midnight oil since 1907. First United Bank. We know ag lending. We know ag.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Bud Light, proudly brewed.
In the heart of Texas. We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium, where the Buffaloes have been stunned by Eastern New Mexico as they make a catch with 14 seconds left to take the lead 24-21 after the Buffs had taken the lead with 1:39 left to play in this ball game. And Eastern does a nice job, gets up the field. They finished with 408 yards offense. And again, they only had 150 at the half, 157 at the half. But they finished with 408 yards. They had 262 yards passing, 146 yards rushing. Penalties, 6 for them for 43 for WT with 35. The Buffaloes, 396 total yards, 169 through the air, 227 on the ground. And so that's kind of how this one finished up tonight. And again, the Buffaloes really didn't get the end, obviously, that they wanted in this battle for the wagon wheel, but unfortunately tonight, credit Eastern, they just really fought back hard in this one. With 1:39 left to play, they were able to get it up the field and able to get a touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone and come away with a win.
You know, and I think if you talk Eastern New Mexico first, Bryce, a big factor for them tonight was they got a running game going.
Yeah,
this was a team that had really struggled to run the ball, and initially, to start the game, they were struggling. Buffs defensively were controlling the line of scrimmage, but as the game went on, you look down and Eastern finishes, they had rotated those running backs in and out, but Stoker leads the way with 49 rushing yards. Tate had 43. Russell had 36. And even the quarterback, Martin, not fleet of foot by any any means, but he picked up some yardage as well, gaining 18 yards on the ground. The reason why I say that those running yards were so important is because that enabled them to then throw the football down the field, which is what they wanted to do.
Well, and especially on that last drive, they had 2 running plays that they needed to use to pick up a first down, and that got them the first down. And so it was 3rd and short, and the Buffs didn't come up. They stayed back in a defensive stance where they were trying to prevent the big play. And so in doing so, they picked up the first down and then got that last big heave, and credit Cherry, who was able to just run his route and stayed true to it and got to the corner of the end zone and caught the pass from Martin for the game winner.
Look at the receivers for Eastern. Asa Awande, 15 catches, 147 and a touchdown. Cherry, 3 catches, 67 yards and a touchdown. For the Buffaloes tonight in the losing effort, you look at, we talked about Eastern and their run game. The Buffs ran the ball well.
They did.
For most of the game. Gerber leads the way with 78 rushing yards. Okoye had 53. Isaiah Smallwood had 49 rushing yards. Gerber was 16 of 29 passing for 169, a touchdown, but 2 interceptions. And that's another thing. The Greyhounds won the turnover battle, and that played a big factor as well.
Yeah, because they also had a block punt in there, and that set up one of the scores for them in this second half tonight. And again, the Buffs they kind of controlled things a little bit in that third quarter, but then kind of gave way and let Eastern come back in it, and they took control at the end of the third quarter and just kind of ran from there.
You go back, you look at the WT defense late in the game with 1:39 to play, and Eastern is out of timeouts. They've got to march down the field 75 yards. Yeah. And you look out on the field, Bryce, and it's going to sound like an excuse. It's not, but it's just a reality. A lot of freshmen out on the field defensively in a crucial situation.
No, absolutely. And you look at the secondary, and again, the injuries there, so you don't have your regular players out there. The linebacking core is completely decimated. And so what was a strength earlier in this season was the front 7.
Yeah.
Now really wasn't, because you're rotating more those front 3, trying to keep them fresh, because you're not getting the push from the linebackers that you've gotten all season long. And so that really comes into play.
Eastern 3-7, Buffs 5-5, and still one more game left in the regular season. WT actually is going to go play Simon Fraser next week to finish out the regular season. But you could see a lot of emotion on the field. They did not want to go out this way, especially with all those talented seniors that were honored before the game. It's going to be tough next week on the road, even against an opponent like Simon Fraser.
It really is, because the Buffs struggle on the road this year. And so, again, that's what Coach Hughes talked about, taking the energy that they had. And really, they had it for a time tonight, but they just never really got the crowd totally into it until the last touchdown that WT made. But then they didn't stay there for the defense.
We ready for the Marble Depot big hits of the game? All right, we'll look at those.
Yep, and we'll end this one for tonight. Again, the Buffs fall to Eastern 24-21.